like damn.
Now.
It's 7 a.m.
It's 7 a.m. Time for the opening drive.
Voted the best sports show in New Mexico.
For 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Well, it is Blue Bloods over New Bloods. The New Blood gave it a run, didn't they? They were fun to watch. But in the end, it is as blue as it gets. It is Carolina blue and Duke blue. And Kansas blue and Villanova blue, and as the commercial suggests, which is the best blue? Which is the purest blue? Which is the undefeated blue? It's not St. Peter's blue. Good morning to you on this Monday. Hope you're not blue. It is the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, look who's across from me, Marie. JJ Buck's back from his gallivanting across the northwestern part of our country. Beautiful part of country up there, huh?
Good morning. Did you just get back from that flight?
He just got back. Yeah, it's a long time to get back from Jupiter. How you feeling?
It takes a little while.
Bud.
It's a lot of freeze-dried ice cream on the space journey, but we made it back.
Those pre-prepared meals that last for 25 years. They're good for 25 years. How was the trip?
Trip was good.
Aside from the obvious.
Once everything was put together, went well. Had just a wild game in Corvallis, and here we are, looking towards next season.
All right, we'll recap that. We'll get into Mike Bradbury, if you want, because boy, this is a nation divided over. It's almost like, are you on Chris Rock or are you on Will Smith? I mean, which side are you on? Are you on Bradbury or are you on Randy Harrison now? Seriously, was that a slap or a punch?
It was a slap.
Was it a slap?
It was a slap.
So it was like an open.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, it looked like a punch.
He said, "Keep your."
I saw the whole. I saw the whole thing. Keep my wife's name. Keep my wife's name out your bleeping mouth.
All those joke writers.
Yeah, but so what was the joke that was like so offensive?
Jada, his wife shaved her head.
Well, she's got a condition which causes her follicles to go dead, and so she shaved her head. Yeah.
And so the joke was, can't wait for G.I. Jane 2.
All right, I guess I miss it. I guess I don't understand it.
Because she shaved her head.
Okay. Do I need to have seen G.I. Jane 1 for that?
Demi Moore shaves her head.
I got it. All right, so he came up and popped him in the face. Chris Rock just stood there and took it, too.
And he will not be pressing charges.
Yeah, that's what I saw this morning. LAPD said, "Did you want to press charges?" No, man, I don't want to press no charges. So he took one. Was it staged?
I don't think so, actually.
Dude saw him coming, stood there, took one pop to the face, and Will Smith went back. All right, well, you can get in on that, but yeah, this town's feels like town's divided. Are you on Bradbury? Or are you on Harrison? Are you on the coaches complaining? Hope you enjoyed the rodeo, or the side that says, well, I mean, they made $200-something thousand. I've been reading people say they just need to move the rodeo. It's easy. Move it back 2 weeks. It's a whole tour. It's a whole schedule. Like the PBR is a whole schedule of events, and that's when they have scheduled for this event. You don't just get to say, all right, we'll take a weekend in July. Well, wait, then.
Yeah, it doesn't really work that way.
That's not how that works. I know people are like.
There was just a lot going on this weekend in Albuquerque. It was awesome.
Yeah, I was at the Gladiators game on Saturday. United had a match on Saturday afternoon, a 1-1 draw. Disappointing draw, JJ, as the defending champions scored in extra time to even that match at 1-1. So while United still is unbeaten, they are now tied 2-0-1 as the Orange County Football Club came in with a draw. Did you go to that on Saturday?
Yes.
How was that?
It was a good atmosphere. It was Little Kickers Day, so the kids are out there playing a little bit.
Little Kickers Day.
Yeah. So Austin was out there with his friends, enjoying it. So, like I said, just a great weekend to be out and about with everything that's going on. And guess what?
What?
A little of that United of last season sneaking in, giving up that extra time goal, huh?
Kind of was a trend last year, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
And I guess there was a few that just went up with the crossbar the other side, but I mean the close ones. There's close ones all the time. But it really it sounded like Orange County was hovering, and they finally got one past Tambakis extra time, and it was 1-1. So they'll go back at it on Wednesday of this week. Oakland Roots will be in town, and you'll get that. But a good atmosphere, good time.
It was.
All right. I was out at Gladiators. They were down 30-0 at halftime, dude.
They don't have a quarterback, right?
Well, they got a couple, which, what does that mean?
That you don't have a quarterback.
Yeah. It was rough. Watching that one. Down 30-0, and they got beat. I'm looking for the exact score. What was it? It was 60 something. It was 60 to 33. 60 to 33. So they had a nice second half. They outscored them 33-30 in the second half. But a good crowd, good atmosphere out there. With Nate Davis out with the knee injury, will he be back this week? They get Arizona back in Rio Rancho this week, so we'll see how that goes. But good crowd, good time out there. So if you were out at either one of those, would love to hear you. Baseball's just a couple of weeks away. Josh Sushan, the voice of your Albuquerque Ice Topes, going to be in studio 9 o'clock this morning. We'll talk to him. All right, big news around here, or at least in this state, was the hire of Greg Heyer, the new basketball coach at New Mexico State. JJ, zero surprise. I think it was kind of down at the beginning to him and James Miller. Greg Heyer coached with Chris Jans at Wichita State and in junior college. He just won a junior college championship at Northwest Florida State, which, by the way, JJ, that's the place where, remember years ago I went and did there was a Lobo tournament in that building. They played TCU, and I was trying to remember who it was. Anyway, it was up at that facility, nice facility up there, Northwest Florida State. They just won an NJCAA Division I national championship, 31-5, and a guy that, by every account, is an up-and-comer. It sounded like it was going to be him or James Miller, the assistant who was there. Both, I think Chris Jans probably endorsed both of them. I think when he walked out, he said it was, I know, he said it was, James Miller was the guy. You get to keep things going. It's seamless. The players were certainly wanting James Miller. Sometimes you don't let the players make the decision. I'm hearing, they're all going to leave. Teddy Buckets announced he's going pro. This is a long-term hire, not just a short-term hire.
Yeah,
and when I say long-term, I mean for 4 years, not 1 year.
Yeah, and this is one that, listening to Mario Moche, you look at the track record of going back, hiring Chris Jans, what he's been looking for in these coaches. He checks all those boxes, and it's winning at a high level and not just in Division I. And I really think that it is something, listening to Mario earlier last week, that I don't think a lot of people consider, because you just look at, D1.
Right.
Okay, it is different. There's a lot of things that go on. But this dude has won at a ridiculously high level wherever he's been a head coach. I think what did he say, 91% of his games as a head coach he has won. Then he was telling the team yesterday, New Mexico State put out a video of about a minute of him talking with the team. And he's like, I've won 85% of the games I've ever been a part of a coach. So we're going to win a lot of games here. And you look at it, and for Chris Jans, in his track record and in his non-D1 coaching experience, it sure did pay off. And they're going along those same lines of a guy that's very similar. Greg Heyer also said that if you liked playing for Chris Jans, you're going to love playing for me. All right.
They coached together.
There it goes.
Yeah, they coached together at Wichita State. They coached together in junior college. Greg Heyer's team this last year was 31-5. He's now the 27th head coach at New Mexico State. We did have him scheduled. He's going to be with us at 8:30 tomorrow, Amory. We did have him scheduled for 8:30 this morning, but then New Mexico State kind of said, we want to do the press conference first. So we had it all set up, and they pulled back the reins a little bit on it, and I'm like, all right, well, it's a bummer, but okay. So tomorrow, he'll be with us tomorrow at 8:30. Looking forward to meeting Greg Heyer. And this feels like one of those where the players, and I don't know how many we're talking about, JJ, that, are they going to transfer? So many of them already have used a transfer. There's the graduate transfer thing. But everybody wants their guy. If you don't get it, are you really leaving? And maybe you are, maybe you're not. There's a couple that are already in the transfer portal. Speaking of transfer portal, a couple of Lobos entered the transfer portal since last we spoke. No surprise on Jeremiah Francis. And then Saquon Singleton entered, and he was a senior. He's going to be a graduate and go in for an immediate transfer and get 1 year somewhere else. I don't know that I think either way. You weren't planning on Saquon Singleton next year anyway, I don't believe. Were you?
No.
And Jeremiah Francis, while transferred in from North Carolina, I don't think that that's a surprise either. A young man who played incredibly sparingly, played in the final game of the season, the loss in the conference tournament to Nevada when they were in foul trouble. But guys that I don't think you were counting on. Well, I know you weren't on Saquon because he was a senior, and Jeremiah didn't play much last year. So all of you, where are all the scholarships coming from? You're starting to figure it out.
Yeah, Saquon Singleton played hard, but he just didn't seem to fit with what Richard Pitino was doing, and that's why this decision come down. Saquon talked about it towards the end of the year. Saying he hadn't made a decision. He's talked with his coaches, and this one seems mutual, kind of understanding that, all right, Saquon, we appreciate what you did this season, but you really don't fit with what we want to do moving forward, so you get your opportunity to play one more year collegially. Jeremiah Francis is a bench dude. Like, he didn't even comp the bench in most of the games this past season. He's a guy that's looking to just finish it out somewhere, because I don't even know what he has left in his knees and just everything.
He's a guy that when he came over, I know so many people were excited. Oh, we got to transfer from Carolina. We got you see, Jethro Muskinen came over from Kansas, and we got a guy from Carolina, and we got a guy from Arizona State and Minnesota. It was one of those you got excited about, and I think you kept waiting to see where was the guy that Carolina recruited, right? And there were a few moments early, but he struggled getting time last year, and then this most recent year under both head coaches, and so he will move on. And we'll watch the transfer portal, and it's going to go both ways for you now. You're going to lose a few, you're going to get a few, and that's what's going to make up your roster as you move forward into next year. Let me give you phone numbers to get in: 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. Your emails, Jeff@sportsanimалabq.com, JJ@sportsanimalabq.com, on the Twitter, _JJ Buck, on the Facebook, the OD in the AM, and you can also send us a text at 505-246-0610. We'll get into the Final Four. It's set. It's Villanova versus Kansas, Carolina versus Duke. Do you believe in magic, Marie?
I do.
You watch what's happening here?
Jeff, you said all along.
Have I told you I believe in magic?
You have said it for a couple weeks now.
And here's Duke, Carolina, and Carolina slapped Duke last time, didn't they?
Yes.
What do you think's going to happen here? I mean, I'm riding the magic train. I'm just
riding
telling
the magic train as well.
Yeah, I'm just going to ride the magic train, but we'll get into that. We got Greg Heyer to talk about. We got we got St. Peter's run to talk about. Oh, was that fun? But the New Bloods couldn't handle the Blue Bloods. It's the opening drive. Jeff, JJ, A-Marie, and Adrian on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best. High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best. High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best. High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best. High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best. High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best. High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best. High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best. High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game
The
from every
sports
sport,
animal.
including all NMAA
Scotty Scheffler
state
won
championships.
the match play championship at Austin Country Club. That's where my money was on. He was runner-up last year. He played at UT. He's from there. And did you watch any of the golf this weekend or different golf? It was match play. Match play is so fun to watch. You flip over, catch a little of that. Now that the NCAA's, the Masters is here in 2 weeks. I don't know if you know it's a tradition unlike any other, but it's coming in 2 weeks.
Can't
watch,
wait.
Yeah, you watch a little more
The
of that.
games weren't that fun yesterday, the
The
basketball
games were hardly fun yesterday.
was like,
That's why I
ugh.
flipped over and watched more golf. And the golf wasn't all that close either. There were two matches, and neither one of them were close. And I'm like, damn, I'm going to take me an allergy nap. You have allergies?
I think I do.
Allergies beat the living tar out of me this weekend. So I took a little allergy nap yesterday. I'm not going to lie.
It's nice.
Yeah, well, the laundry was going. JJ, yesterday, 2 games. Carolina 69, St. Peter's
Boring.
49. Kansas 76, Miami 50. 2 games that got out of control. At some point, the St. Peter's thing was going to come crashing down, and it crashed hard. But, like Friday, we were going away in an establishment, and at the end of as that game was winding down, it's funny how everybody's kind of in their little thing, everybody's chatting, and then as that game clicked under 3, all of a sudden, bzzz, they buzzed. And everybody started wrapping around that TV or those TVs that had the game on. And everybody, and there was a dude who had money line at plus 700 on Purdue. I'm sorry, on St. Peter's. But everybody, because there was no Purdueans, there was no Jerry Palms around, everybody was flocking on St. Peter's. And what a story. I mean, and I know a couple Lobo fans I saw on the tweeter, man, we can't even get in. We can't win a game. We can't get to Sweet 16, and they're in the Elite Eight. Like, what the hell? They made a run that captured everybody. And Shaheen Holloway is going to be the new coach at Seton Hall. He's going to leave St. Peter's. I read something, JJ. Their home opener, they played LIU. They had like 453 people was the announced attendance in their gym at the Run Baby Run Arena. And their final game, there they were in a sold-out building on national television against North Carolina. Like, what a season, huh?
It's unbelievable. And looking at St. Peter's, how well they played in those other games, I just kept thinking about, like, if you're Purdue watching that game, you're sitting there going, what happened?
Yeah.
Because that North Carolina St. Peter's looked like how you'd expect a North Carolina St. Peter's game to look.
Right. If that game was played in November, you just said, and in the Dean Dome, you just said, oh, yeah. And you'd have looked at the scores. It rolled across 69-49. North Carolina beat St. Peter's, and not even given it a first thought, let alone a second. Yes, that's how you would expect North Carolina St. Peter's to look.
Because it was a complete 180 from the Purdue St. Peter's game
Or the Texas St.
on the
Peter's
other night.
game. Or
Anything
Yeah.
like that we saw of just how that team was able to stay in it. But it's just the explosiveness offensively. North Carolina was the best team that they played, and they played some good teams. But
Kentucky?
yeah, but best offensive team. Like the depth offensively, 1 through 5.
No, but I mean, I'm agreeing with you when you said they played good teams.
Yeah.
Kentucky, Texas,
Like
and
they beat
Purdue.
Kentucky, Murray State.
I mean, Murray State. Yeah, Murray State.
Purdue.
Murray State. I'm sorry.
Like, it was unbelievable. And then, as you said, that looked like a game you'd watch in November before conference play starts. Like, yep, right there. But just how they captured everything, like, it didn't feel real at times. I'm like, wait, this 15 seed is still here. They're still going. They just played good basketball.
And they looked so different. You're right. And they got down 9-0. They, for the first time, watching the beginning of that game, it looked like St. Peter's. The moment was too big for them. Did you feel that way? Because the whole run, the Kentucky game, the Murray State game was back and forth and slugfest and really, really good. And then Purdue, they look like they belong. You're like, wait a minute. You know, who, where, what? That guy with the goofy mustache and those little guys with the pink shoes, and they look like they belong. The game against Carolina was one where it's like, all right, this looks like a little bigger than they can handle, and I'm not sure they look like they belong here.
Yeah, and it's one, for North Carolina, they were locked in. They just saw what St. Peter's did to 2 really good programs, to 3 good teams overall, and like, we're not letting that happen.
Yep.
We are not having our collapse. They had their moment in that Baylor game where it almost all slipped away from them. They had a great start, and they were not letting that happen yesterday.
Good for Hubert Davis. And I know I had the conversation, was it Wednesday? Were you with us when I had the conversation about veteran coaches? When I thought that there were a couple of games, the Duke-Texas Tech game, the Arizona-Houston game, where I thought both those games really evenly matched teams. Arizona-Houston were evenly matched. Maybe Arizona had more talent, but I don't know if I totally think that. Certainly Duke and Texas Tech. And the veteran coach beat the first-year head coach, right? In Texas Tech's first-year head coach in Arizona with Tommy Lloyd. This time, Hubert Davis is a first-year head coach, and he is in the Final Four. Now, he got through Mick Cronin, and that was a battle now. And so maybe every theory certainly has its buts, its exceptions. But when you look at who's through, Bill Self and Mike Krzyzewski and Jay Wright, and then there's Hubert Davis, makes me think again, and I love me some Duke. I love this story. I love what's going on with Krzyzewski. Is America going to turn their hatred for Duke into a love story for Krzyzewski as this thing ends? No. They do not want to see him cut down the nets, huh?
Well, and I think, too, in this matchup, there's just a lot of, oh, here we go again, of course. But these stories are so interesting because this is, I understand, when you look at Coach K, like this was destiny. It had to happen on his final run. His basketball team just actually got better.
They got
like
really
his
good.
His players, his young players, are making plays at the end of the game. And then for North Carolina, they just could never find consistency in the regular season. But their starting 5 can match up with anyone in the country, which is why they're in the Final Four. And it really started to click. And both these teams are very similar as to when they really started to play their best basketball. And it was at the biggest moment in the season.
There was a time not that long ago, it was in late February, where Carolina was on the bubble, where it was, wow, is Carolina going to make the tournament? Yeah, are they going to get in? Now they're in the Final Four. And it feels like, and it's hard to sit here and say they are a Cinderella. Now, if you would have given me one of the other 8 seeds in this tournament, if you'd have given me Boise State or Seton Hall or San Diego State, those were the other 8s. Oh, my gosh, Cinderella, right? That's what I'd be hearing. But because they're North Carolina, because they've won as many championships as anybody, and that's who they are, they're not Cinderella. But they are an 8 seed. I mean, this is, you look, we had 10-11 in this Elite 8 in Iowa State, Miami, which is a pretty good game. And then Miami got run out of the built by Kansas. By the way, Kansas is the team that nobody's talking about. And I say nobody, it's relative, right? Because they're in the Final Four, so you're talking about them. But they're the quietest number 1 going in. They were. Arizona, Gonzaga, people were picking. Baylor was the defending champion. And then there was Kansas, right? So they were the quiet number 1. And of all the teams that are there, it feels to me like Kansas is, and JJ, I feel a lot, sometimes the team that no one's talking about is the most dangerous.
Well, it's Kansas and Villanova.
Yeah, a little bit, because everybody's
Both
talking
of them.
about Duke and Carolina. But, yeah, but
No one picks Nova. No one picks Kansas. They're just there. They're constantly just winning a ton of games. And I think some of it, too, is Bill Self has talked about, this is a good team. It's not a great team. They're not loaded with lottery picks like you see with Duke. It's just good players. Like, that's what Villanova and Kansas are. They're just really good players. Like, they're guys that they're not going to be top 5 selections, but they're going to have long careers because of what they do on the basketball court. Now, the biggest question for Villanova is they lost their most explosive scorer. There's some more towards Achilles. So they're still a solid team, but that is really often that's your most explosive scorer going against a Kansas team. We saw in that second half, Abaji decided to finally show up in the NCAA tournament, and then you have him and Brown with Remy Martin, and you got 3 really good scores. That's going to be a defensive slugfest between KU and Nova.
So you have one number 1, 2 seeds, and a number 8 seed comprising your Final Four. Of course, we'll have it all for you here on the Sports Animal on Saturday, and then, of course, the championship game on Monday. You're home for the NCAA tournament all the way through the championship, 95.9 FM at AM 610, the Sports Animal. 505-246-0610 is how you get to us today. We'll wrap up what went on over the weekend with you as you want to. If you want to get into the hoops, if you want to get into the local soccer or gladiators, if you're out there, whichever way you want to go with that, we are here for you and looking forward to having those conversations. Again, 505-246-0610. We'll tell you about Coleman Vision and Dr. Stephen Coleman. And I went there years ago. I went there in 2000, I think it was in 2003. And I was just tired of wearing glasses. I was tired of wearing contacts. I was getting up early in the morning. I was anchoring the weekend or the morning news, and it was just inconvenient for me, man. It wasn't right. And I'd been wearing glasses since I was in high school, and it was just time to be done with it. So I went over there, and it was inviting, and I had a consultation, and I had a high degree of astigmatism, and Dr. Coleman took care of it. Look, Dr. Coleman is the best in the business. Dr. Stephen Coleman has been doing this for years, since the mid-'90s. Not only is he the best, he is in on the latest technology. He is in on developing it. It's done right here at Sandia Lab. But Dr. Coleman is part of this community. People come from all over the country to get their LASIK done at Coleman Vision. I did, and I suggest you did. You do as well. You can go by any day, and you'll see people from all walks of life, athletes and lawyers and housewives, and it's you and me who are going in there. And he'll tell you straight up, if you're not a candidate, he'll say this isn't right for you, but here's some suggestions. He's not looking just to bring up his roster. He's looking to help you. If you're thinking about getting rid of the lenses, go see Dr. Coleman. Coleman Vision is online. You can see testimonials. You'll get an idea what they're all about. ColemanVision.com. That's ColemanVision.com. And then call and make an appointment. It's 505-821-8880. 505-821-8880. Seeing is believing, and I believe.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
All right, Aggie fan, how you living? You got Coach Greg Heyer. Chris Jan's left. Greg Heyer's here. The Heyer is Greg Heyer. Northwest Florida Community College or NJCAA champion. How you feeling? You got a new coach. You down? Do you like this hire?
Really good about yourself in your
I
Mexico
think
State.
so, right? Don't you think that this was the good hire? I don't know if it was the right hire, the safe hire, the whatever, but it is the hire, and we'll see what happens from here on out. A guy who's won everywhere he's been, guy who's been with Chris Jan, so you got to believe that Chris gave him the validation. And while Chris wanted James Miller, who's now on his way to Starkville, by the way, James Miller will be on Chris Jan's staff at Mississippi State. How you feeling, Aggie fan? 505-246-0610. You like this?
I do.
Yeah.
It fits the track record of Mario Mocha has done recently. The success, you've seen it from guys that have won at multiple levels, getting this opportunity. And all these dudes are connected. Even if you might not have heard of them and you're like, well, this is his first Division I job. He's been a Division I coach, just hasn't been a head coach at this level. So he has the connections. You know he's going to be able to continue to recruit at a high level for what New Mexico State expects. And if you're an Aggie fan, you should feel good about this hire.
All right. I wonder where you are, Aggie fan. 505-246-0610. How are you feeling when you were watching Arkansas go all the way through? All the way to the Elite Eight. When you were watching Arkansas play Duke, I'm not Duke. Yeah, that's where it was, right?
Yeah.
How are you feeling about that? Arkansas takes down Gonzaga. What was Aggie fan feeling throughout that whole thing? Still a good run, right?
Yes. Winning a game in the NCAA tournament as a 12 seed is a good run for New Mexico State. I'm sure there's some what-ifs, but I don't think they would have gone on that same run against Arkansas.
All right. Let me hit you a few emails early. Boy, you know what, Jeffy, says Todd? Let me put it this way. I think the refs knew what it would mean to see one final showdown, North Carolina versus Puke, and that guy's final NCAA. Where did he, did the refs get him in? Okay. Ken says, how presage was this? OD callers are the voice of New Mexico. Who said last week that Lady Lobo fans feel WNIT home games are their birthright? Was it Jess? The Journal must have been listening because their column echoed what was said on this show, and Lady Lobo fans are fit to be tied. It's easy to say just make the NCAA, but when you're in a chronic one-bid league, it's easier said than done. JJ, you've been gone a bit with the women's basketball team, but Bradbury and his comments have been, I said to Anne-Marie last week, we probably get more women's basketball emails and calls than any show in America. I don't know if that's good or bad, to be honest with you. There was a lot of, he had to go on the road. I'm going to tell you, I heard this, and I don't know if this is exact, but I heard from somebody that I trust over at UNM that the NIT was going to play at Oregon State anyway. Now, maybe it was easy because they knew what the situation was, so there was no decision to be made. But the WNIT made that decision. They were going to Oregon State. I know Mike's upset that there was the bull riding in the pit. Can I be very clear with you? All of you who say move the bull riding back 2 weeks, that whole thing, they're on a tour. You don't get to pick, hey, here's our open date, come here in June. They're on tour. I don't know where they were last week. I don't know where they are next week, but whatever, it fit into their tour, and that's where their date was. This is just one of those things where you can just tell them to come here whenever it's convenient for you, okay? It's got to fit into their schedule, too, and their television schedule and their tour. But this whole half the teams are on the road. By the way, they were up 18 points. Was he upset that the rodeo was in town when they were up 18 points? In his words, the rodeo.
You didn't lose to Oregon State because of the rodeo.
I think that's right. Now I got a few more for you. I'll read them, but I want to get to Dennis. Yeah. Dennis, good morning to you. Let me do that again. Hello, Dennis.
Just wanted to get some information on Lobo basketball recruiting for this next year, and also did the Lobos try to recruit Isaiah Carr and William Benjamin from Las Cruces High School? And I'll just listen to you guys.
All right, thanks, man. To the best of my knowledge, they have not offered those two young men, right?
Well, Carr is going to Grand Canyon.
Yeah. Yeah, but Carr's committed verbally to Grand Canyon.
And all that, we know that can change. Yes.
Yeah. As far as, so what they've got coming in, they're going to be in the transfer portal, right? And they've got some guards coming in, and Richard's basically looking right now for bigs. Right?
Yes. Forwards, and more forwards.
Yeah. And so that's where they are. And so to, what was his name, Dennis, just kind of watch it because it's going to happen. You've got some guards that are committed, high school guards. And supposedly the young man coming out of Dent, losing the first name, out of Orange County is supposedly terrific. Just terrific. Dynamic, young, you're going to love him. All right, on the NIT, the WNIT. So the WNIT selections process, they're going to go whoever will guarantee them the most money. Who's going to guarantee the most money? And a Power 5 football conference school like Oregon State, don't you think is going to be able to provide more of a guarantee than New Mexico? Now you're going to say, well, then why did it go to Laramie instead of Pauley Pavilion, which is a fair ask. Okay, but that's kind of this is.
Well, yeah, and I think that decision was also made easier given the fact that the pit wasn't available.
Yeah, it was easy. Yeah.
And so, all right, go play in the Division I arena and not the gym.
In Johnson Gym. Yeah. Lobo Hobo says Oregon State dwelt again, Jeff, and this time they couldn't make up the ground. They got down behind UCLA, so UCLA is the Final Four of the WNIT. James says the WNIT, Jeff, Bradbury's scheduling philosophy is soft non-conference, rack up a bunch of wins to make yourself attractive to the WNIT, then let it roll in Vegas. A high-level decision is going to have to be made. Don't be surprised if legislature gets involved. What's the priority for that build? Generate dollars or keep it open for potential games until you hear Jim Nance sing One Shining Moment. Apparently, unlike so many other communities, we're not capable of doing both in New Mexico. Look, guys, this has gotten way more complicated than it needs to be. And I guess it's partially because Mike's comments. And if you're on Bradbury's side, and that's fine that you are, I understand that you want home games. You want your basketball arena to be there for basketball. Should the goal be to keep it open for the WNIT? Or should the goal be to make $250,000? And by the way, everybody who went to that PBR event loves it. The time area is one of the best. The arena's great for it. You've been holding it there for years and years and years. And I don't remember being an issue every year. Every once in a while it is. That's when it is. And also, by the way, if you recall, it was always the week after. And I know UNM has worked with the PBR to push it back so they're able to get a couple games in, home games. And is it that egregious that a team's got to go on the road to play a WNIT game?
No.
Half the teams
part of the game.
Right? Half the teams travel, don't they?
Yes.
So, it's kind of crazy the way this thing's gone nuts. Dan says Bradbury unloads to Ken Sickinger, Jeffrey, regresando Juan Jose. Yeah, Maria. Bradbury might be the biggest superstar on that campus right now. Yeah, I know cross country has had more postseason success, but let's be honest, nobody cares about women's cross country. Easy. Dang, Dan. It'll be interesting if this will result in scheduling changes next season. Scheduling changes what? I mean, do you think Bradbury's going to move the whole PBR schedule? I guess I don't understand what schedule changes it is you're anticipating. 505-246-06. I'm happy to have this conversation with you. And I see Mike's side. And I can see how he wants the basketball arena to be open to play basketball. And I also understand so many of you have said, well, wait a minute, man. Where are all these other events that are supposed to be coming to the pit? Well, you got one, and it's getting you right somewhere in the area of $200,000 to $250,000 that all of you want so badly. And I think Mike wants it too because he likes to get paid. I got both sides of this. But is it so egregious to say you got to go on the road and play a game? 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. By the way, if you went, I hope you enjoyed the rodeo. I hope you did, because everybody I know who went out there enjoyed the rodeo. All right, we're getting a storm this week, too. So after the storm, maybe not, you can call today and make the appointment, but after the storm, call On the Spot Automotive Detailing, get your car detailed, and get that storm off your vehicle. It's going to be spring. You want it to look nice, and they will come out to you, and not only will they clean it and wash it and wax it, they'll detail it. That means inside, outside, under the hood, under the seats, around the tires, around the rims. When they're done, it's like the day you took it off the lot. It's like a brand new car. It is that's how that feels. That's how it looks. That's how it smells. And people are going, whoa. And they come to you? That's what I said. So you're busy. I'm busy. We're all busy. We don't have time to go take it somewhere, sit there for 2-3 hours. So while you're working, they're in the parking lot. They're in the driveway, wherever it is, and they are detailing your vehicle. You get a text, you go outside, and boom, there it is, a detailed, beautiful car. They've got this unbelievable ceramic coating, which is the best way to protect your paint for years to come, and they apply it by hand. That makes it last longer, and they have a military discount as well. On the Spot Automotive Detailing, 505-859-2859. 505-859-2859, or visit them online as otsdetailing.com.
Get your biggest refund guaranteed. Jackson Hewitt Tax Pros will help find thousands worth of new.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
I'm Ben Lucero, president and owner of Indigo Mortgage. We are a locally owned and operated mortgage company right here in New Mexico. This means your loan officers and processors are right here to serve you. Our mortgage divisions include residential, commercial, construction, reverse mortgages, and VA mortgage loan. Indigo Mortgage, because nobody cares more about your mortgage loan.
Industries is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Dream Style Roofing tops them all. When your roof's worn out and needs to be replaced, we're gonna do it right, put a smile on your face. There at home, things are looking up when you get your roof done by someone you can trust. Dream Style, a company name that's been around forever. No one does it better. You need a new roof, you know who to call. Dream Style Roofing tops them all.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
The Sports Animal.
All right, a couple of things on UCLA not being able to play. They had a scheduling conflict, Pauley Pavilion. That's why they went to Laramie and to Oregon State. Ed's just said, I got an email, make the NCAAs. It's not a problem. That also is true. 505-246-0610. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, A. Marie. How are you, by the way? Oh, she's on the phone. Never mind. I was going to see how her weekend was. Got her tickets for Gladiators, too. Rudy, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing good. So, ways to get people talking about things, right?
Right.
Slap somebody at the Oscars or schedule a game when people want to see the Lobos at home.
That's right. So, are you on Chris Rock's side or Will Smith? Are you on Harrison or Bradbury? I got it.
You know, I feel for the women because you look back on that the Oregon State game, and I think if that game was at home, UNM would have won. They would have worn down Oregon State, and they would have won like they normally do in the fourth quarter. Instead, they kind of got tired for whatever reason, and they missed some shots that they normally make. So I get Bradbury's point. On the other hand, when you don't belong to a power conference and every penny counts, you know, it is what it is. You can't always get what you want.
Rudy, I guess I'm struggling with this concept that when New Mexico gets into, do you drop something? When New Mexico gets into the NIT, they've got the right to play every game at home until they lose. I guess I'm struggling with that. Somebody's got to travel, and there's almost this feeling around here, well, why should we have to go on the road? We have the pit.
Well, I don't share that view, and people who think that it's some type of birthright to play in the WNIT at home don't understand the process, and I think that's the problem. But, I know for years they've been trying with the PBR to change it.
They did.
And
They
if
pushed it back a week.
Had the money.
They got to push back. Remember, it used to be the week right after the tournament. It always was. They'd get the high schools out of there, and they'd start pouring dirt in. They did get them to push it back a week so you get 2 home games.
Yeah, the problem is it's never going to be ideal, so you have to live with whatever the results are, and I know this year it didn't work out. I would like to see the PBR move their National Finals Rodeo to Albuquerque.
There you go.
How about that?
That'd be wonderful.
If you did that, there wouldn't be a conflict, because the National Finals Rodeo, I believe, is in June or July.
It's in Vegas, right?
Yeah, it's been in Vegas forever, but you talk to, and Ty Murray's been on numerous times and talked about he wanting to switch it to here. All the athletes love that venue. The pit just really, it gets them going. The crowd is closer.
Yeah, that's a whole other issue.
It's a great event.
Yeah.
Talk to anybody who was there.
They all had fun.
It's a really good event.
Yep, they all enjoyed the rodeo. Thanks, Rudy. Appreciate you.
Okay.
See ya. Ray, good morning to you. Let me get rid of that. Hello, Ray.
How's it going? How's it going, guys?
What's happening?
Hey, I wanted to say, Duke, I think they're getting homered by the referees. The referees are calling fouls. You just touch a guy from Duke or bump him, and they're getting fouled. The guy from Arkansas went for that layup, and that Williams went to block the shot, slapped him right in the face right in front of the referee, and he fell to the ground. No call. That, like the announcer said, so far on the year, Duke has went to the line 497. They made the 497 free throws, and that's more than all the teams combined that have attempted free throws. And in the playoffs, in 3 games, they went to the free throw line like 82 times, made 82 free throws, and the other teams haven't even attempted 40. So I think now that Krzyzewski, they want him to get to the championship and win the whole thing since it's his farewell tour. And another thing, too, is on that the NIT. I remember not too long ago when the men were in the NIT, and they had to go travel.
That's right.
Because the bull riding was in there. But the thing is, like they said on the news, on the TV last night, they had the bull riding on TV from Albuquerque, and they said it was one of the top 3 venues for the bull riding in the nation.
Yep.
And they love coming here, and look how much money it makes. They're sold out all 3 nights.
Yeah. Look,
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, see you, Ray. And I appreciate it. JJ.
By the way, you know who attempted the most free throws in the country this entire season?
I don't.
All games?
I don't.
Arkansas.
Okay. Where was Duke on that list? I mean, I don't even know. Not that I just don't know. I'm trying to find these.
Duke was 46th in the country in all games played and free throws attempted.
46th.
Free throws made, I should say.
That's upper, whatever. I'm looking at the PBR schedule. So where are they going next? They're going to. Where does it tell me? First Premier Bank Card, last Cowboy standing. That's the name of the event, by the way. The next event, I don't know where the hell it is. Oh, it's in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. The event is not called the Ty Murray Invitation. You know what it's called? PBR First Premier Bank Card, last Cowboy standing, presented by Cooper Tires.
Cooper Tires?
All that is the name of the event. Like after that, they got the Casper Invitational and the Twatchon PBR Twatchwan Amphitheater.
You know the importance of branding, Jeff.
I do. The PBR First Premier Bank Card, last Cowboy standing, presented by Cooper Tires.
Cooper Tires.
That's a mouthful.
Dang, put that on your hat.
Sheesh.
Yeah. But my point is, I'm trying to find before where they were. They're going next to South Dakota. And so they're going to be up there for a while. They're going to be in South Dakota and Utah and Wyoming and Washington. Then they'll drop back down to Texas April 7th. I can't. That's like a one-off thing because they're in Washington. I mean, they go geographically. And I know people are like, well, you know, why can't they just do it when I want them to do it? Why can't they just do it when we have an opening? That's not how it works, man. It's not how it works. Who won this weekend? Do you know?
Oh no.
I don't either. I'm looking at.
I wasn't allowed to bet on it.
You weren't?
No, it's not allowed. I told you it's only
Here
in
it
certain
is.
states.
Here it is. João Ricardo Vieira.
Woo!
Dalen Swearingen took second, and Eduardo Aparecido. I think that's right. Aparecido took third. And then it's got the bulls ranked. Do you check out the names of the bulls? Have you looked at the names of the bulls? Whoopa, Pookie Killer, and Vanilla Ice are the top three bulls. What?
That's awesome.
It is awesome. Whoopa, 43.75. I don't know how that. I wish I knew more about this. I just don't. Pookie Killer is at 45.75, and then Vanilla Ice at 45. Pookie Killer. All right. What?
It's funny.
It is kind of funny. World Finals, May 13th through 22nd. You can buy our tickets now. See, May would be a good time. Oh, no, you can't do May because you got graduation in the pit. See, Rudy, that wouldn't work. I think that's literally right around graduation time. You couldn't do it. You have all those graduations in the pit. May 13th, so it would be an issue. And what's more important to the institution is the WNIT or is a graduation? Don't start with me. Could you imagine if they couldn't, they had to go over to Tingley Coliseum because the pit, they couldn't graduate in the pit because, I'm just saying. It's the opening drive. Don't start. Josh Sushot will be here at 9 o'clock in studio on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
A burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Dream Style Roofing tops them all. When your roof's worn out and needs to be replaced, we're gonna do it right, put a smile on your face. They're at home, things are looking up when you get your roof done by someone you can trust. Dream Style, a company name that's been around forever. No one does it better. You need a new roof, you know who to call. Dream Style Roofing tops them all.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green.
And keep the community green as well.
Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment.
You trash it,
we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS Network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Two-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and J.J. Bond.
All right, you got a lot to talk about, Aggies. You got a new basketball coach. Greg Heyer is the hire. And how do you feel about that? We got a Final Four set on the men's side, 2 of them set on the ladies' side. Duke, Carolina, Villanova, and Kansas. It's quite bluish and bloodish, as the New Bloods couldn't hang with the Blue Bloods yesterday at St. Peter's. We got United with a draw over the weekend. Gladiators got beat. They got shut out in the first half, JJ. 60-33 was the final. It was 30 to bagel at halftime, and they were going through a couple of different quarterbacks as Nate Davis is out. This we haven't gotten into, and I want to hit it as well. 505-246-0610 is how to get here. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, A. Maurice producing on the radio side. Adrian on the TV side. You could watch us on Comcast Channel 26 and our Facebook page, the OD and the AM. So Friday afternoon news dumps, you like to say. It's when the Browns decided to introduce Deshaun Watson. What did you guys think of the Deshaun Watson press conference introduction? I can't say anything because, well, there's a pending investigation. But Deshaun said he doesn't plan to settle. That's not his intent. That he didn't do anything wrong. That he was surprised by the allegations, and he just wants to move forward and play football. And I'm sure he does.
Did you guys watch it at all?
Yeah.
Yeah, it seemed uncomfortable. The coaches seemed uncomfortable.
Of course it was uncomfortable. I mean, there was no way that was going to be comfortable, right? I mean,
well, if you're the owner, they got comfortable with that situation.
The owner wasn't there. The owner sent his GM out. The owner, Jimmy Haslam, didn't show up.
Like, you guaranteed this dude the most money in the history of the NFL, and, like, you're not ready for this? Like, no one wants to, like, take responsibility. So there's an ongoing investigation, but they feel comfortable with the investigation they did, that they have cleared Deshaun Watson. But there's things we can't comment on because there's an ongoing investigation. But Deshaun Watson is going to help us win a lot of football games. So I can take your questions and Chip.
Yeah, so you want to talk about football? I'm happy to talk about football. Well, nobody wants to talk about football, dude. With all due respect, the story isn't how Deshaun's going to throw to whoever he's throwing to. Is David Njoku going to be better now that Deshaun's there? With all due respect, that's really not the story. And let's do it on Friday afternoon so nobody's going to talk about it. $230 million guaranteed. The owner doesn't show up to answer any questions. The question comes up, did you, in your investigation, did you speak with any of the 22 women who have accused Deshaun of what they've accused him of and have pending civil lawsuits? Well, no, says the general manager, because our attorneys advise us that that would be tampering. So did you, and that's why we hired an outside third-party private investigator. Did they speak with the women? They got a thorough, they came back with a thorough report, all sides. Well, did they speak with the women? They came back, I refer you to my statement. I understand, look, inherently this was going to be awkward. I understand that there were going to be things you couldn't say. Doesn't make it any less frustrating. And the fact that Jimmy Haslam wasn't there to talk about the biggest guaranteed contract in the history of the National Football League to a guy who really hadn't won anything and has 22 civil suits pending and is going to be suspended by the National Football League, how does the owner not show up and answer a few questions?
And for this, it was Deshaun Watson's first chance to publicly
How'd you think he did?
deny the allegations and say that he's never assaulted any woman or never disrespected any woman. So that, I believe that's the first true public statement from Deshaun on these allegations. And this is one that it's a whole bunch of legal cover talking in circles. It's like, well, we have cleared Deshaun Watson, but we can't talk about anything because there's investigations, but our investigation said this, but we can't really say anything because of that investigation. We know you're going to talk in circles. You're not going to tell the truth. Deshaun Watson is talented. He's your best chance at winning football games at a high level. You believe him. You can't really say that, though, because it's going to make you look
Whether you do or
bad.
not.
You have to believe him. You have to believe him to give that dude $230 million.
You have to believe him, or
guaranteed.
do you have to believe he's going to get cleared?
You have to believe he's going to get cleared, which
that's to me
is okay. That's the difference.
Yeah,
but that's
So to me,
and so you're not pulling the wool over anyone's eyes, man. We get it. We've played this game. We've been here, done that. It's the soapboxes. We like to talk about morals and what sport means and this and that. No, it's just about winning, and you're going to watch, and you don't care what these dudes do. And the Browns are just going to put their head down, get through this, not answer any questions.
That's right.
And Deshaun Watson's going to be throwing touchdown passes, and he'll be like, that is why I drafted my fantasy team. Let's go.
As you will. How do you think he did? How do you think Deshaun did? Because I didn't think he came across as arrogant and cocky and defiant. I thought he came across about as well as he could have in that situation. Is that not fair? Like Amory, how do you think he was? I know you saw it.
I think I agree with you. I thought he did. I guess I want to see a little more accountability, but like you said,
But see, he's not going to be accountable for something that he says he didn't do.
Right.
Right. What do you want accountability for?
I don't know.
Right. If he's saying I didn't do anything wrong, what do you want him to be
Like
accountable
some of the
for?
quotes he was saying is like, once everything is resolved, I can speak freely
But
on
he
it.
won't, because then there'll be a non-disclosure statement. Because I firmly believe, and I think you all do too, don't you, that this is going to be settled? You think he's
course
going to
it's gonna be
22
settled.
separate trials?
No.
Okay.
He's going to settle.
Right. And now that he's got $230 million guaranteed, I mean, is each one of these women? Somebody told me $100,000. I'm like, there's no way they're all walking away at $100,000. They're walking away at $500,000 each. So it's going to cost him 11 of his $230 million. I mean, whatever it is. And then there's going to be a non-disclosure agreement, an NDA, as they like to say. And so he's not going to be able to tell, well, I can't. And this is where they're going to hide behind the legalese of this whole thing the whole time. Nobody's going to say anything. Here's my deal. I thought he came off fine in an inherently impossible situation to come across good. Okay? There's no way he was going to come across that you were going to go, oh, yeah, no, that's great. Because this is a horrible situation in which he is in, whether he put himself there or he found himself in. We can get into how do you have 22, 23 different massage therapists, and I'm hearing these pro athletes say, man, I've had 3 my entire life. Like, you don't find them on Instagram. What do you find on Instagram? I think we all kind of have an idea what you're finding on Instagram, right? Now, that doesn't mean necessarily he's guilty of what he's accused of. But there's 22 different women with relatively unique but similar stories. Do you think he came off okay? Like how did you think he came across in the whole thing?
Fine.
Yeah. Right?
Like, I'm not going to be proud of Deshaun Watson.
No, that's my...
Like, I think that's what you're getting at. He sat there. He made I believe it's the first time publicly he's actually ever addressed or denied the allegations. And you move forward, and this, who knows how long this is going to take, so he's going to have to understand that as much as the PR people will be like, do not ask Deshaun Watson this question, like, that's going to be there until those cases are no longer there. And, for Cleveland, you have to be willing to continue to stand up, understand these questions are coming. Whatever you're comfortable with, you probably need to explain that. Other than just the third-party allegations, because it's been kind of been all over the place. Because they're like, oh, we bring Deshaun Watson in, he's gonna, we're excited to see him rebuild on and off the field. Well, rebuild from what? Just allegations? Like, and so it's just kind of like all over the place about what Cleveland is doing, when ultimately it is about winning football games.
So you throw your GM out there to answer questions. And I think, to your point, that is something that's fair for the public and for the people who are asking the questions to know. So what is it? What did you learn that made you comfortable? When you say it was a thorough investigation, what is it? Is that somehow protected? Is that going to hurt the legal process here? If you say to us, you're comfortable because your third-party investigator or team of investigators went out and they were, in your words, they were thorough, and they got all sides of this, but yet they didn't necessarily, or maybe they did because you won't tell us, speak to the women who are making these allegations. But they investigated the women? Like, what is it, JJ, I think that's fair. What is it specific? Give me one specific that made you comfortable that none of this is right, that we're good moving forward, that Deshaun's going to be fine?
What is it? Not just, and I think that what you said, Jeff, is correct. It's they believe he's not at this point getting charged. There's no criminal
That's why
things coming down.
Till the end. Yep.
But what makes you trust Deshaun Watson that this was just some huge conspiracy theory against him, and the dude that you just guaranteed $230 million to is going to be able to step up and be this guy?
Again, I don't know that the Browns are convinced that he didn't do it. Now, they'll tell you that, but I think they're convinced that he is not going to prison for it and not going to be charged criminally for it, and that somehow this is going to get cleared up. Because you want to talk distraction? First of all, this young man's life, and I'm not telling you to feel bad for him, but what's his life been? Now, he made a full year's salary. He got paid every nickel of his contract last year and didn't play a game. He was on leave. But every day he wakes up and this is looming over him, and it's going to loom until it goes away. JJ, there's no way he's going to 22 trials on this. He said on Friday, I do not intend to settle, right? That's what he said. Does that mean you intend to sit through 22 trials? And with all due respect to how great football is in our country and how wonderful Deshaun Watson may be in Cleveland, Ohio, the judicial system is not going to schedule these trials around his football schedule. They're going to hit when they hit, and they're going to be during football season. And his legal fees are going to be, and you're going to say, Jeff, he's got $230 million coming in. His legal fees are going to, think about defending 22 trials. Go to 22. And you're not going to win them all, by the way. So you're going to have to pay in a bunch of them. How are they comfortable with that? So they've got to be comfortable with the point where he's going to settle, right? I mean, as we all sit here, how is he going to play football over the next X number of years? And that's where this whole guarantee thing just boggles my mind. You know he's going to be suspended 6 to 8 games in year one. Wow, it's only going to be part of that $1 million, but that's fine. You're paying him to play football. Over the next, how long does this take? If you're telling me you're going to try him, which you're not, how long will that take? So do you think these are all settled by the time the NFL season kicks off in September? Because that's where the Browns, if you're telling me the Browns feel comfortable, that's where they've got to feel comfortable, don't they? How can this sit here and loom, and you're telling me you're comfortable with this young man who's going to be your leader of your team, and, oh, we need an adult in the room, by the way, because Baker Mayfield wasn't adult enough, so this is the adult in the room.
This is the adult.
And yet he's going to somehow, in his words, because he doesn't intend to settle, going to be dealing with defending himself in 22 civil cases?
No, he's going to settle.
But to your point, JJ, you're not wrong saying, tell me why you feel comfortable. 505-246-0610. Josh Sushan's going to be in studio at 9 o'clock, voice of the Isotopes, and we're going to talk, and he knows Mike Bradbury a little bit too. We're going to talk baseball season's coming up because we would have been on the precipice right now this week of opening day, but we're getting closer and closer. So we'll go to the phones when we get back, 505-246-0610. Kirtland Federal Credit Union, New Mexico strong since 1958, is your home loan leader. They were built right here in the heart of Albuquerque, and it's their goal to help New Mexicans achieve the dream of home ownership with the right loans, local expertise, and a relationship that's built on trust. The Kirtland Federal Credit Union mortgage team is 100% local, and that means your loan stays 100% local. You're never going to send a payment out of state. When you have a question, when you reach out to talk to someone about your new home, you will speak with someone right here in Albuquerque. Meet the Kirtland Federal Credit Union mortgage team and get started today. KirtlandFCU.org/home loan center. KirtlandFCU.org/home loan center. Kirtland Federal Credit Union is an equal opportunity lender. Membership eligibility required. Super representative for complete details.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
I'm Ben Lucero, president and owner of Indigo Mortgage. We are a locally owned and operated mortgage company right here in New Mexico. This means your loan officers and processors are right here to serve you. Our mortgage divisions include residential, commercial, construction, reverse mortgages, and VA mortgage loan. Indigo Mortgage, because nobody cares more about your mortgage loan.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green.
And keep the community green as well.
Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment.
You trash it,
we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
You trusted your home or business security to a company with an armed response. They sold out to a national corporate giant, and you're stuck on the brink of less security. I'm Aaron Jones, owner of International Protective Service. IPS isn't for sale. I'm invested here, and I care about your home and business as if it's my own. Let the highly trained armed guards or 24-hour patrols of IPS protect what's yours, with faster response times to catch criminals and less associated costs. Call 897-2420 or go to ipsglobal.com.
Introduced to Sean. Nobody will talk about it. Nobody will see it. We're going into the weekend. You got NCAA tournament. 505-246-0610. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, J.J. Buck. Marty, good morning to you. How you living, Marty?
All right, good deal. A comment first on Deshaun Watson, and then I got some trivia for A. Marie.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's say on Deshaun Watson, they would have done this like a prenuptial. Okay? So if he doesn't play, no money. You don't get paid, period.
Yeah, but it's guaranteed.
So the
so that's not
prenuptial
what they do.
works like this. Rather than monetary dollars, pay him in stock,
Like, let's say Cleveland had the choice of picking Amazon, Apple, NVIDIA, Facebook, some stock like that, 10,000 shares guaranteed. Now, the fluctuation of the market, up or down, and then depending on your ability to play, if you get paid. But doesn't the sports agent take a portion of that guaranteed contract?
Yeah, I guess
too?
like 2%. Yeah.
Okay. So save your comment for this, but I want to get A. Marie on trivia first. All right, A. Marie, you listening?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. First one, real easy.
Oh, boy.
Pat Summitt, Tennessee, the winningest coach, women's. How many titles did she get?
I'm going to go with 8.
Okay, very good. Now, the men's three-point line and the women's three-point line, true or false, is the same.
False.
You missed that one.
Oh.
Okay. Don Flanagan.
Hey, I want to play for Don Flanagan.
Okay, coach for UNM. Does
I know the guy.
not have the most wins in school history, true or false?
For women's or men's or overall?
Women.
I would. No, he's not asking me.
True or false?
I'd go true.
False.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
I would have said he's the winningest
I was going to say
coach.
winningest coach.
Okay.
That's like a tricky one.
At one time,
Oh, boy.
the pit used to be
I really like this
called
segment.
Don Flanagan Arena. True or false?
False.
Correct. Okay.
Did my
And
uncle,
then
like,
the
tell you to
last
call
one
me? Like, on the...
Is she's like the Babe Ruth at UNM. She just hit her 40th home run. What's her name?
I don't know.
Andrea
I'm not
Giorgi.
gonna. I'm sorry. I don't follow that.
Andrea.
Sorry, I should support
Yeah,
more women's sports.
She was an Italian Olympian as well.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I love learning, so thank you.
What do you think of that prenuptial? All right,
Well,
thanks. I'll hang up.
All right, so yeah, like what the prenuptial is essentially it would be an incentive-laden contract.
Although we want prenup.
The issue with that.
Good one, JJ.
And JJ, what Marty's saying, in theory, I think is right. The issue is, by all reports, there were like 3 other teams that were willing to guarantee him all that money. And his agent went in and wanted guaranteed money. And from what I understand, the Saints were willing to guarantee him. The Panthers were willing to guarantee
It's all
him.
good in theory. A player ain't accepting that deal.
Right. And you could say, well, who is Deshaun Watson to have that clout? Well, in fact, he did. So, Marty, I think you're right in theory by saying it should have been incentivized, right? That's kind of the prenup on this. It would have been you have to be playing to get this money, and then there's incentives if you reach XXXX. I am stunned, JJ, that this was all guaranteed. And weren't you when you saw the whole thing come out?
Yes. And they know what they're doing because they guaranteed that money, so they swayed Deshaun Watson to say, all right, I'm going to Cleveland because these dudes are paying me more than anyone else. And then also give him that first-year salary of, what, like $1 million?
It's $1 million.
Because they know if he gets fined, it doesn't hurt him. They knew exactly what they're doing in this entire situation. It's, all right, this dude's not getting charged criminally. We can deal with everything else. That's not going to be hard. PR, he's going to be out there throwing touchdowns. And what do we care about? Winning. That's
it's easy, right?
Case solved, done. Good night. There we go.
He's not, look, Marty, you're not wrong, and that's, I don't know that, I mean, I don't know. If you had Baker Mayfield, would you have made this deal? I mean, I'm not arguing that this is not an upgraded quarterback from Baker Mayfield. But if you add a quarterback that you could have gone forward with this season, would you have made a deal to give him $230 million? Because I would not have. There's no freaking way.
No.
Yeah, no.
Right?
Guarantee that whole thing.
I'm not saying Baker's the greatest, but you had a good quarterback.
So Bill says, what happens to Baker now? It seems starting slots are running low. Is he coming off the bench next year? Does he sit out and pounce in September when he sees the first big-name quarterback limping off the court? So here's the deal. He's under contract. He's not a free agent.
I don't think Deshaun Watson's going to start the first couple games.
Well, there's no way Baker sits around under that mess now.
Of course not.
You want to talk about putting Chris Rock and Will Smith on the same team?
Bam!
You can't do it.
No, you can't.
So they're going to trade him, and the value is because they know. JJ and I have had this conversation. He's going into the last year of his rookie deal. So what are you giving up for him, right? And knowing that you're going to have to re-sign him or get rid of him. So what's Baker worth to you if you are? Who are you? First of all, who are you that needs Baker? Are you the Texans? Are you the Panthers? Who are you that needs Baker Mayfield? And what are you willing to give up for a guy who you're either going to have to pay or get rid of after this year anyway? And look, I think Baker's getting a bad rap. I don't think Baker's a great NFL quarterback, but I don't think he's the garbage quarterback that people are making him out to be. Do you agree with me?
I'm with you on that.
I think Baker Mayfield is as good as a number of these starting quarterbacks in the National Football League. When I look around the league and I say, I think he's better than what the Giants have and what the Commanders have and what the Lions have. Well, maybe what the Lions have. I don't know. There's
Texans,
the Saints,
the Saints.
What do the Falcons have right now?
Marcus Mariota.
I mean, he's as good as Marcus Mariota, right? He's as good, if not better, than you can find me 10 slots right now. And I think he's getting a bad rap for what? What did Baker do? What did Baker do that everybody's telling me he's so immature?
Apparently, he just had his confidence didn't match the production. Like everyone's talking about, like Baker Mayfield, the teammate.
He was
this or that. Like what?
He was beat to hell.
Like, and
his left shoulder was
worst thing he's done. Not throwing enough to Odell Beckham Jr. Okay.
He tore his left labrum and played through the whole injury, where a lot of guys would have sat out. Like, I got it. He's a number 1 overall, so you're holding him to a standard of maybe Deshaun Watson, who you just brought in, who, by the way, wasn't a number 1 overall. He's a number 1 overall pick, like Marcus Mariota, like was it Jared Goff? It was Jared Goff.
A lot of it too. It's all this is timing, and for Baker Mayfield himself, it was the worst time because everyone else has pretty much done their work in the quarterback market.
Yeah,
and it's not just. Baker wasn't going to be the first move before Deshaun or Russell Wilson or any of these other names, but it's also the fact that he's in this weird position of only having 1 year left, and if you're a team, you're like, do I want to give up a mid-round pick for him right now, or do I want to just go into the draft? And this is the thing, like, this doesn't have to happen now. This is going to go into the draft and then after the draft because there's going to be teams that are sitting there going, let's see what happens with this quarterback class, and maybe we'll land our guy there. And then if we don't, all right, if we need a guy to get us by, let's go grab Baker because you can get probably Cleveland to pay half his salary for next year.
All right, the draft is 3 weeks away, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mid-round pick, 4th? Could you get him for a 4th?
I'm sure you can right now.
All right. If you were going to take a quarterback with a 4th-round pick, is Baker Mayfield better than what you would get with a 4th-round pick?
Yes, but I'm talking about those teams, like Carolina, Houston. Like, they're going to be in the market to grab one of the top 3 or 4 guys if they wanted to.
If they want to. Yeah. Now, if they don't.
So, right now, it's just bad timing. Like, they're not going to make this move. They're going to go to the draft, see how day 1 or day 2 plays out. Maybe it's not there. And if they don't get their guy, I'm sure Cleveland could say, all right, we'll pick up half his salary. You send us a 3rd-round pick.
Boy, Cleveland's spending money, right? I guess they only got $1 million for a quarterback this year. What the hell?
So, it was all bad timing in the moments. The draft is going to play out. Then we're going to see a
Will he be a starter next year on opening day? Will he be Atlanta's starter? Will he be?
Well, what about Jimmy G too?
Well, Jimmy Garoppolo's sitting out there too. All right, that's a really fair question. Who would you rather have? Who would you rather have with 1 year left on the contract? Who would you rather have?
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Okay. It's fair. It's also debatable.
It's debatable.
And both guys are coming off shoulder surgeries.
Well, both left shoulders? No. Yeah. 505-246-0610. We'll talk some baseball at 9 o'clock. Josh Sushan, the voice of the Isotopes, will be in here to pick up his equipment today. And so he's going to spend some time with us on the radio. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, J.J. Buck, A. Marie, Adrienne on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
A burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, Click on the NFHS logo and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local.
Awesome, we got a surf report. Had it. High tide, windy pre-storm the spring. Great day to smile and dial. That means sell something. Finally adjusting to the time change. He says the Browns should sit on Baker. His value goes up once the season starts. And who knows regarding Deshaun. He says that's my first Browns take ever.
Hot take.
I think it's a lot of people's first Browns
I
take.
know.
We've
Like,
never had
what?
a damn take on the Browns. Who cares? All right, here's my Browns take. I've never had one. It's interesting. So,
and he's not wrong. The Browns
That's
don't
right.
have to do anything.
That's
We're just
right.
so caught up on everyone has to find their quarterback. Well, guess what? This isn't a starting quarterback right now. It's might be a starting quarterback, backup mode. That's why there's no rush. There's no timetable on this. It's not going to destroy the Browns if they go into the summer with both those guys. Because guess what? It's still not training camp yet, so they don't have to hang out with each other.
you know, the Steelers should cut a deal with an NFC team because the Browns will not trade him to the Steelers. Even though they don't think he's their guy, they sure as hell don't want to see him twice. So they should cut a deal with the Panthers. Hey, you trade your fourth for him. We'll give you a third and a fourth or something, and trade him to us. No?
What do the Steelers have to do with that?
That way, if the Steelers want him, because I think he'd be good with the Steelers.
They have Mitch Trubisky.
That's my point.
He's better than Baker Mayfield.
Oh.
You firmly
Right
believe
now.
that? You really believe that Mitch Trubisky?
Yeah, Mitch Trubisky's a more dynamic quarterback than Baker Mayfield.
Why do you believe that?
Because he can give you things with his arm and his feet.
So can Baker when he's healthy. I'm not convinced one's better than the other. You might be right, but you might be absolutely wrong too. I don't know that Mitchell Trubisky.
My business card, by the way.
You might be right. You might be wrong. I don't know that one's better than the other. But I would take my chances and let them go to camp and compete against each other. I really would. Whoa, what happened here? That's a long. What the hell is that? Grady said, "Run imitation Marty." Why does he only question Amory?
I know. Well, yeah, why doesn't he quiz JJ or Jeff?
I don't know.
He has at times.
I mean, he has at times. That's
Oh,
true.
yeah.
He's out to get you this
He's
morning.
out to get
What
me
was the
with
one you
women in
missed on?
sports. Don Flanagan.
Is he the winning it? But that was.
Did he have an answer to that?
Is he not the? Yeah, he's the winning it.
Actually, give me the answer
I
too,
know.
Marty,
Did
so
you
I
tell us
can
anything?
learn.
Yeah, and then he kind of. Oh, I don't know.
It's just continue. Name 3 players. You should. I love my uncles too, but they're like, you should do this, you should do that. I listen to you on the radio, and I appreciate their support, but you guys get in here every day,
Yeah,
play radio.
But it's not as easy every day. All right, I got some emails for you.
Appreciate you, Marty.
505-246-0610. Gladiators got beat 30-0. Well, they were down 30-0. Got beat 60-33. Glenn says, I almost expect them to roll out Isaiah Chavez as quarterback. Pull the manager polo off of Bryson Carroll and put him in, LOL.
Woo! That's
yeah,
funny.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, a little bit.
Telling me quarterback's important.
I watched some rough quarterback play of the Gladiators in the first half. Yeah. I think they threw 5 interceptions.
Oof.
Yeah, it was rough. They had a 0. I was with sitting with Ned and a couple of his buddies, and Ned played arena football, and one of his buddies played arena football. He's like, I've never seen a team get shut out in a half of arena football. I mean, it's just like you score, you get out there and you score. Yeah, it was rough. They need their quarterback back. Garcia says, Thomas Patrick Brady in the transfer portal, Jeff? Someone was telling me this weekend he might transfer to the Dolphins. Was my leg being pulled? Are the Dolphins this season's Ramit? they're pushing all their chips to the center of the table. No. That conversation is, after his contract's up after this season, he's got one more season with the Buccaneers, would he go sign with the Dolphins? How many years do you think this guy's got left? This would be 45, right? This hits his goal. This gets him through this contract. This is it, right? Although Peyton Manning wants his wine back.
He should get it back.
Don't you think?
Yes. You did not retire, so please send back the retirement gift.
That's really funny.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
And I will send it to you when it has been a full year from that day you stepped off the football field, and I know you're not stepping back. Then we can have discussions about the retirement gift that I have sent you. At this point in time with Tom Brady, I'm not going to believe it until it's been like 2 or 3 years of him not playing football. And then I'll be like, I believe Tom Brady's retired now.
Peyton said he wrote him a letter, sent him a nice bottle of wine. He says, I want the letter back. You got to read all those nice things. I want it back. I want the bottle of wine back, too.
I take everything back.
I want all the love. Everybody's saying all those things, and here's the all.
Oh no!
Love.
How dare these reporters take this moment away from Tom Brady? How dare you report that and take Tom Brady's moment away from
when
retiring?
Schefter reported it, that
How
was
dare you, Adam Schefter? You do not take that moment away from Tom Brady. He never had the moment.
By the way, Schefter
Get over yourself.
Schefter
people.
was right. Brady never.
Which he tends to be.
Well, he's always right. And all he reported was that Tom Brady was retiring. He didn't report that he announced his retirement.
It's ruined Tom Brady's. He doesn't get to. He doesn't get to release his Instagram statement. He still did all that. Guess what? It didn't mean anything. So what now? People that were crying over Tom Brady.
Of all the fabricated ire that I see on a daily basis, that was the most abhorrent to me.
How dare you?
The fabricated.
Well, how dare Tom Brady do that? How about that?
Oh no, Tommy can do whatever he wants. Do you know who he is? He's
the
Tom
statement that no one believed anyway.
I kind of bought it. I did.
You did?
I kind of did.
I did too.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I just didn't think
I didn't think he was going to
be
49ers.
I just didn't think he was going to be the waffle guy. I thought once, I thought Tom Brady was so calculated, and once he said he was going to do something, he was going to do it. I didn't think Tom Brady was going to be.
Once he realized that he's going to have to wake up every Sunday and make his kids waffles, he's like, nope.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do they eat waffles? I don't.
Avocado.
And if they do, they got someone to make it.
Gluten free.
And if they do, they've got someone to make it for him. You think it's him and Giselle making breakfast?
Of all the stuff that's come out of this back and forth, I think the worst thing is just people think Tom Brady hates his family. Like he just the realization of, I have to do this now all the time.
When do they leave the house? I'm playing till
like all of a sudden people are like, Tom Brady hates his family because he immediately went back
what
to
a crappy dad. Well, that's where that's come to. No, but I bought it. I thought Brady was going to be the guy, not going to be the guy who went back and forth. I didn't think Brady was going to pull this Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers. Well, maybe. No, he made a statement. I'm out. I took him at his word. Like I thought he was going to be the guy that when I'm done, man. I'm like I said I am.
He probably can't go out on
an
L.
Angry.
He probably can't go out on an
Whatever.
L.
Everybody except for Elway is going to have to do that. Like most guys are going to have to do that, right? Do you think he's coming back and win the Super Bowl this year?
No.
I don't either. So we may have to go out on an L. If he keeps chasing that W, it may be a long time. He may be in a walker. Bible 5-2. I'm not mad at him. I don't got a problem with it. I just didn't think that's what he was going to do. It's the opening drive. Josh Sushan at 9 o'clock on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
I'm Ben Lucero, president and owner of Indigo Mortgage. We are a locally owned and operated mortgage company right here in New Mexico. This means your loan officers and processors are right here to serve you. Our mortgage divisions include residential, commercial, construction, reverse mortgages, and VA mortgage loan. Indigo Mortgage, because nobody cares more about your mortgage loan.
AM6
Compaction wants to help you keep
Sports Animal.
Looking forward to talking baseball. Josh Sushan, the voice of the Isotopes. We got to have every voice of the Isotopes. Francina's right, like two doors over. She's the voice you hear at Isotopes Park over the PA, and Josh is the voice you hear when you roam Isotopes Park and you're getting your food and you're in your car going there. Looking forward to that. JJ, a week from Tuesday. Is that right?
Oh.
A week from Tuesday, they're in Oklahoma City.
I was looking at the field this weekend, and I was like, this outfield grass looks fantastic, ready for some big-time plays, see how the berm gets involved.
Got new head groundskeeper.
Oh, really?
That's right. Yeah. Clint went to the big leagues. He's a big leaguer.
Wow, congratulations.
And that's kind of a cool deal. But yeah, they're going to get on the bus, pay the fare, and they're going to go to Oklahoma City, and they'll play over there.
Isotopes send in not just players, but people to the major league.
See? 505-246-0610. So does Baker not take a dump all summer just to prove that he isn't a number 2 quarterback, says Maurice. Was that Gardner Minshew who said that?
Oh.
Yeah. And that's the most Gardner Minshew thing ever.
So Gardner Minshew
Where
needs to
is
end up
he?
in Seattle. Where is he now?
Yeah,
He
Philly?
but doesn't he need to end up? So he went to Washington State. He needs Seattle's quarterback is
Drew Lock.
Drew Lock. Let him go compete with Drew Lock in Seattle. They'll love him up there. By the way, they absolutely love him up there. He's a Cougar. Even the Husky fans kind of like him because he's weird and he's quirky, and that's how it is. All right, you can send text as well, 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. So we're, 2 weeks away from Major League Baseball season opening, right? They only got pushed back 1 week?
Yes.
Albert Pujols got a deal? Is that what I saw today? Albert
Go DH for the Cardinals.
He's going to go DH. Look and see what the DH kept him alive. See, you happy about that now?
It gives Albert Pujols a job.
I do hate it. I'm not going to lie to you.
The universal deal.
How's your mom doing?
We haven't talked about DH yet.
Okay.
Yeah, she's just she's happy to get baseball back. That's fair enough, though. She's going to get baseball back here. My mom, she was all stoked she got a job.
Oh,
She'll
nice.
be 85 here in about a month, but she's all stoked. Look here.
Good on her.
That's what I'm saying.
Dude, the Symbiotas, you guys work, man.
No, she's like.
When I'm 85 and someone says you have to get a job,
I'm
and be
be
like,
golfing.
you
She's
can
like,
go
I
somewhere
just
else.
went in. No,
I'll be on the golf course.
She's getting like 8 to 12 Monday through Wednesday. She's going back into the schools and she's like, I didn't have to get a resume together or anything. And then she'll get to watch the Dodgers at night. No, like her life will be set.
I mean, come on.
And then she's coming out here, and it frees her up. There's a Wednesday flight for her. It's perfect. She knows like when she wants to come out, she gets off, gets to the airport, she gets her Wednesday flight, goes back on Sunday, and gets to go to work. So she's got it figured out. By the way, $2.5 million for Albert just to continue. How old is he? 42. 42 for Albert, and he'll be a DH in St. Louis.
Woo!
Let him go home. Let him go where they love him. It's win-win for everybody. And by the way, he still had some big hits in those bats last year. I mean, it feels like it's perfect. Are the Angels still paying him? Are the Angels still paying Pujols or not? They paid a bunch of it last year, didn't they? I mean, almost all of it, if I'm not mistaken. But
Who? How do I phrase this? I can't. Who aren't the Angels paying at this point in time?
Nolan Ryan?
Yeah.
I think they're over the Nolan Ryan thing. Maybe. All right, Jeremy said cashless. People aren't happy with the ballpark going cashless. Jeff, remember way back to pre-pandemic 2019? The girl would walk around at the friendly confines, get your peanuts, popcorn, Cracker Jacks. Then you'd pass an Andrew Hamilton down the aisle, and she'd send down a couple boxes of overpriced Cracker Jacks and your change. Are those folks now gone? I can't imagine most people are going to be comfy passing down their plastic with not only their Jeff Symbieta on it, but their credit card number exposed to everyone who touches it. No, it's a good point, though. The people who walk down the aisles with you.
Isn't this just the norm now, though?
Credit card.
It is. Until
I think if you notice a guy that takes a cell phone out and takes a picture of your credit card, you might have an issue.
Then what are you doing? You're going Will Smith on him?
Yes.
Then what?
Yeah, you're gonna have to bring it up, but like a photographic memory, like, oh, I'm gonna look at the front and the back, make sure I get all your three digits.
I'm not worried. That's not what I'm worried about. I'm more worried about when the internet goes down or when the power goes down. Like we've taken a couple power hits over at the university in this office the last few weeks. How is commerce going to continue?
Well, guess what?
What?
Better get your baseball bucks then. Stop complaining.
Oh, 100% on the baseball bucks.
It's not a surprise.
I tried them.
Playing it on you.
Now I'm going to have to go buy full price baseball bucks.
Deal with it.
Yeah, man. Josh Sushan is the voice of the Isotopes. He is here in studio. Like, literally, he is here. He's next. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
Your green. And keep the community green as well. Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best. Industries is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
I'm Ben Lucero, president and owner of Indigo Mortgage. We are a locally owned and operated mortgage company right here in New Mexico. This means your loan officers and processors are right here to serve you. Our mortgage divisions include residential, commercial, construction, reverse mortgages, and VA mortgage loan. Indigo Mortgage, because nobody cares more about your mortgage loan.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green.
And keep the community green as well.
Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment.
You trash it,
we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta, and JJ Bob.
Take me out to the freaking ball game already, huh? It's going to be 74 today. It is time. Baseball season starts next Tuesday here on the Sports Animal on the 6th. That is, I'm sorry, on the 5th. 1 week from tomorrow. Isotopes in Oklahoma. They will play the Dodgers. They come home a week after that on the 12th on a Tuesday to open up the 20th season, the 20th year at the ballpark against the Tacoma Rainiers. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, J.J. Buck, the Sports Animal, proud to be, once again, since their inception, the home of the Albuquerque Isotopes baseball, and the voice of the Isotopes is with us in studio. Josh Sushon is here. It's so good to see you, man.
Good morning. It's so great to see you guys.
How you living? You good?
Life is spectacular right now.
Spectacular?
Yes. Sun is out. It's warm. I was gardening this weekend. I'm going to be on a bus about a week from today on my way to Oklahoma City to call some ball.
Better than that.
Yeah. I'm pumped. I'm pumped for this season. I love the schedule. I think I'm glad that all the Major League Baseball lockout stuff is done. We can just play ball. We can just enjoy ball. I'm pumped.
It's kind of a little transition. This is behind the scenes. JJ's travel season just ended, and so he's handing off the gear to you. Is that the same gear, right? And yours just started.
I didn't know.
He's home for a while, and you're hitting the road for a while.
So hopefully you took care of the gear, JJ. Let me know.
Great.
All the buttons work.
Everything works.
Everything's
fantastic.
yeah. Okay. No coffee.
They give us the good
so-
gear. They send Jeff out with the bag.
Okay.
So we're good.
Yeah, I went out with the gear because right. Rob was with the football gear in Boise. JJ had his gear, so I got the third set to go to Vegas, and like 2 pods didn't work, and I'm doing the coach's interview, holding it down because it's shorting out. We got on the. You probably I know you've been doing this for long enough that you jury rigged things so many different times just to get duct tape, rubber bands, bubble gum, holding things down.
I was doing some fill-in work a few weeks ago, and I needed an adapter, and so I'm running around town and just asking everyone around, do you have a male 1/4 to a female?
What? There's no Radio Shack anymore.
Yeah.
You can't do it. All right. Where do you want to start? First of all, do you have any idea what? Because let's start with this one. Let's go with Gene and Sid, and Sid says he doesn't care anymore, but he does. Do you know if you're going to have a competitive ball club? Because some people, I know you like to win, and you've been doing it long enough. You would love probably to go to a playoff, get a ring, raise a flag. Like, nobody wants to win any more than the guys in the organization.
Yeah, for sure. And I will say to those who are like, we need a winner. Of course we all want to win. Life's so much better when you're winning.
Yes, it is.
I will say this, and you can put me under a lie detector test. I have enjoyed every single season, and I would enjoy them more if we won more often. I get enjoyment out of seeing players get better, seeing prospects, whether they're real or not, seeing players make comebacks, guys who come out of nowhere. I love the individual stories. And so, I've had a blast. But to answer your question, I think it is going to be a competitive team. This is the way that I look at it. When the Rockies signed Chris Bryant and when they trade for Randall Grichuk, that means 2 guys who otherwise would be in the major leagues are going to be with us, right? So that means that Ryan Vilade, who's got a lot, I think it's a big year for him as a prospect. That means Ryan Villade's going to be back with us. That means that Colton Welker and Eledius Montero, who both ended the year with us, are going to be back with us. Those dudes can hit. Those guys got a spot if they can figure out a position and if they can hit enough. So, the Rockies optioned Ryan Rollison down last week. He's the top pitching prospect in the organization. They also optioned Ryan Feltner down. Feltner's a guy last year who went from single A to double A to the big leagues and then ended the year back with us. So I like a Rollison Feltner at the top of the rotation. I like that Vilade and Welker and DJ Peterson might be with the Isotopes. The Rockies signed him as a minor league free agent. I like DJ Peterson at first and DH and maybe a little bit in the outfield. He's trying to resurrect his career. I could go down the list. I got a feeling Alan Trehill's going to be back at shortstop. He's fun to watch defensively. He can hit. I think there's going to be a lot of interesting pieces.
What do you think baseball is right now as a whole? Is it you're someone that's covered baseball at pretty much every level. You've been on the inside and outside of it. Just as a whole, I know we're excited for the start of the season, but just the sport overall, where is it right now?
I think the sport is in a little bit of a transition. And a lot of these rules that we've seen in the minor leagues that have been experimental are going to be in the big leagues before we know it. Whether that is pitch clock, whether that is larger bases, whether that is
Robo strike
zone. A lot of these different things that they've been experimenting with in the minor leagues to see how they work. What are the consequences? What are the unintended consequences? Banning the shift. You can't have 4 outfielders. Everyone has to have their feet on the dirt if you're an infielder. Those different things are being worked out, and so I think that we're going to get to that point because as much as I love baseball and as much as you guys love baseball, when you go to a game and each team strikes out 15 times and draws 7 walks, and the only runs that are scored on 3 solo home runs, that's not as entertaining of a product as when you have action, when you have hit and runs, when guys are stealing bases, when they're going first to third, when there's a play at the plate, there's a double in the gap. Can he score from first? And there's this great relay throw at the end. There's this building of anticipation. That's when baseball is so much fun. And I think the sport is going to transition back to that where you and you guys remember what that was like kind of growing up.
And one thing, too, that's so unique about baseball is they have so many different levels and platforms to experiment on. And I think, well, as much as people like to take shots at baseball, it's just an easy thing to do in the offseason, especially with the lockout, they've done a lot more than other sports to figure out what the future of the game is.
Yeah, and that's all part of that, you know? I mean, even something like bigger bases, I know some people are like, what's the difference? It actually is, and that leads to player safety as well, that there's not going to be a collision at first base. That means, okay, we always know there's 90 feet between bases, right? But if the bases are 4 to 5 inches bigger, well, then now it's really like 89.5 or 89.25 feet. So maybe that means that you're going to try to steal more. Maybe that means you're going to have a bigger lead at first because you think you can get back on a pickoff.
Because the plays are so bang anyway. You say is a quarter of an inch, or is it going to matter? It kind of might.
Think about, the technology is so good, and we're able to see on these challenges and on these replays just what a matter of inches it is. Yeah. And so you're going to start to see things like that.
Josh Sushan is in studio, the voice of the Isotopes. Will fans notice the Robo Strike Zone? And I say that they're experimenting at this level with the automated, or what's the official
ABS, okay. Automated ball strike.
So that means the strike zones, there will be an umpire behind the plate, and he's going to be notified immediately. Like, how is this going to work, and will fans notice it?
Yeah, good questions. First of all, the first 1/4 of the season is going to basically be practice. The umpire behind home plate will still be calling balls and strikes, and it's a testing of the system for the first 1/4 of the season. So there's all kinds of things in the press box. They're up in the ceiling. They're running cables here. They're setting up cameras there. There's all sorts of different things that are being set up. They want to make sure it works day one.
So work mean they're going to be able to, in the press box level, be able to make sure the strike zone's working.
Right.
And not relay it in time down to the umpire.
Well, so they're going to be relaying it down to the umpire just to see if it works, how quickly it works. But the home plate umpire is still going to call balls and strikes for the first 1/4 of the season.
But he'll be getting a relayed message that was a strike, but if he doesn't think it was, he still has the...
No, for the first quarter, it's completely the home plate umpire.
Right, but you're saying they're going to relay it to him, so he's going to be getting the signal, but he can make the call.
No. For the last 75% of the season, it is strictly the computer.
Right. But while they're testing it, are they going to be relaying it down to him?
Yes.
So
it's just to see if it works.
But he's not obligated to go with it?
He's going to make the call the way that he sees it.
Right. But he's going to be getting the call from above.
Well, then that might just be a personal decision for the umpire.
That's what I'm saying.
Like maybe if it's a borderline one and he's kind of thinking, I think this is a strike, but then
that's a tough
game. But it's going to be, someone's set up with a computer and they got a microphone and a headset and the thing in the umpire's ear. And
so is that how it's going to be? He's going to have an earpiece strike ball.
Yep.
And
I get where you're coming from. That's going to be tough as an umpire because you're going to start like that first quarter of the season. If you're like strike and they're like ball, you're like,
I'm a big believer. I've said this all the time. This is why the minor leagues exist, is to try things out.
Do you like this?
I want to see it. I don't know if I like it. I want to see it, and I don't want to see it in the major leagues until I know that the technology absolutely works. And so that's why I'm so glad that we're going to have it. I want to see.
So because I am not there, JJ's been for it, and I'm at the point now where I think where you are, okay, try it. Let me see. I'm willing now. Now I guess I have no choice. Let me watch it and see if it works. Show me that it's better.
What's going to be interesting, too, is it's not just, okay, we take for granted that there's a strike zone because we see the K box on TV, but setting the K box becomes actually very important.
So does it vary from player to player? I'm a guy 6'8".
Yes.
Next batter's 5'10". So they do adjust that.
Yes. Now they used this last year in the league that is once and now again called the Florida State League, What they found is that the second half of the season, they slightly altered the strike zone. Where for the second half of the season, it wasn't as high and as low, but it was more wide. And when they did that the second half, fewer strikeouts, fewer walks, more balls hit in play. So the hitters adjusted a pitch that was a little bit off the plate or a little bit in. They adjusted and swung at that as opposed to the pitch that was too low or too high, but that would otherwise be called a strike by the letter of the law at the time. And so that's part of all of this figuring it out in the minors.
Where's the strike zone? It's from the knees to where?
Knees to the letters.
Is it to the letters?
Knees to the letters, and it's to the blacks of the strike zone.
It is still the letters.
So that's what it's supposed to be.
I mean,
but what if the letters are at your belly?
Well, that's what I'm saying, right? I mean, is it?
Or what if you have a logo that doesn't? What if you have Bob Odenkirk
your
face
chest, right? It is your chest. Because I mean, it varies. I'm interested in this.
You're right. This is the perfect thing to have happen. We'll find out if it works. You can be so adamant, like you love it. This is the greatest thing ever, and you can watch it, and then it can be like, well, this doesn't work. And then so you get back to making sure the umpires are the best they can be at what they do.
Well, there's other changes in baseball. And Josh, you got some time, right? All right. I mean, season. You don't have to be on the bus for another week.
Yeah, for another week.
All right,
about a week and 3 hours.
Josh is here for a week and 3 hours. We're going to come back. We're going to talk more baseball. I want to get into extended playoffs. I want to get into the universal designated hitter. Baseball is back a week from tomorrow right here on the Sports Animal, and you get to hear his voice all summer. It's the voice of summer here in the Borque. Josh Sushan's with us in studio on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
What is it about minor league baseball? It's the brightness of the grass. It's the smell of all those yummy foods.
They sold out
It's
to a
the
national
crack of the bat.
giant, and you're stuck
It's
on
the
the brink
chills
of
you
less
get from
security.
those
I'm Aaron
ninth-inning
Jones,
comebacks.
owner of International Protective
It's where
Service.
phenoms chase their
IPS
dreams,
isn't
aging
for sale.
veterans
I'm
look for one more
invested here, and I care
chance,
about your home and business
and
as
everyone
if it's my
cries
own.
hardest
Let the
when they're told they're going to the show.
highly trained armed
It's
guards with
baseball
24-hour
season.
patrols of
And
IPS
this
protect
is
what's
your home
yours.
for Isotopes
The faster
Baseball.
response times to catch
95.9
criminals and less
FM,
associated
AM
costs.
610,
Call
the Sports Animal.
897-2420 or go to IPSglobal.
I saw it again. Plywood in the windows of another business. I'm Scott Stigler for Windsor Door Sales. You know what happened. Somebody smashed the glass and a business owner and customers suffer. Windsor Door Sales installs durable mesh screens or rolling shutters to keep the bad guys out. Ask about affordable financing and eliminate the hassle. Visit WindsorDoorSales.com.
When some people peek under the hood, their first thought is, you may as well be asking them to translate hieroglyphics in the Valley of Kings. If, on the other hand, you know automotive inside and out,
The
from
Frontier
starter to
Restaurant is a
tailpipe,
proud
good
supporter
news.
of
We're not
ProView
looking for
Networks.
translators, but we need great
Don't
mechanics.
sacrifice
Like
quality and
You
flavor.
have 5
when
years
you're in a
experience
hurry.
working service
Golden
base.
Pride
Leonard
offers
Tire and
ribs,
Automotive Repair
fried
is
chicken,
hiring.
green
Simply
and
email
red
your
chili,
resume with
breakfast
contact
burritos,
info to
and
Leonard Tire at
Frontier
AOL.com. Leonard Tire and
More great
Automotive Repair has
locations,
the
or
career
visit us
you're looking
online
for.
at
Today on Hey Culligan, soft water, cleaner environment. What do you say, Greg?
Hey, Culligan, are you saying if I have a Culligan high-efficiency water softener, I'm also helping the environment?
It sounds like you're saying it, Greg, and yes, you are, because with the Culligan high-efficiency water softener, you'll use less detergent, soap, and harsh chemicals, and that's good for the planet.
Now you're saying it.
You bet I am, Greg. Soft water and a cleaner environment is already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test from a local Culligan water expert at Culligan.com.
Here at Total Wine and More, you'll find what you love.
Contact your
Love
local
what you
State
find.
Farm agent
I'm
today.
looking for a whiskey that will
If you
blow
want the
my
real deal,
buddies
call
away.
State Farm
The
agent
Single Barrel
Mary
Bourbon
Size
is a
in
surefire
Albuquerque
hit.
today.
Oh, yeah. Whoa, did you hear that?
High school
I feel like
sports
a
are
rock
back.
star.
You can
Finding
watch
this
every
bottle at
ProView
that
Network
price,
broadcast
you totally
online
are.
on the
Find what
NFHS
you
Network.
love
Every
what you
moment
find.
from every
Only
game,
at Total
from
Wine and
every
More.
sport,
Pick up and deliver
including
available
all
at TotalWine.com.
NAIA state
Drink
championship
responsibly.
games.
B21.
Get your monthly
If your
pass
child
now.
has endured remote
Just go to
learning during the last 2 years,
ProViewNetworks.com,
it's past
click
time
on the
to consider
NFHS
what's
logo,
best.
sign
During
up
that
today.
time, Calvary Christian
Watch
Academy has been
Mexico's
open with
best.
in-person learning. With small teacher-to-student ratios, the students get to engage with their peers, which CCA believes is the best way to learn. Calvary Christian Academy prides itself as a close community teaching with a biblical foundation. Open enrollment for next school year is on now. Your child can go to school at Calvary Christian Academy. For tours and more information, visit Calvary Christian Academy, abq.org.
Whatever it takes,
Meet Bob
what it takes
Minetti.
to build great
In
futures.
2016, he was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. Bob participated in a clinical trial that included cutting edge.
A Burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Baseball soon. Peanuts, Cracker Jacks, cold one. Nice Topes baseball. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, A. Marie. Josh Sushan is in studio, the voice of the Ice Topes. How many years is this for you?
My first year was 2013, so this will be my 9th season.
That's so cool. That's so cool.
10th year,
yeah.
9th season, because of the pandemic.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And that's what, the 20th year, 19th season of Ice Topes baseball, right? 20th year at the ballpark. John Schwab was on and asked me, and I wish I could do it. I emceed the opening night, first day at the ballpark, very first day back 20 years ago. Probably the first 4 or 5 ceremonies. And so he asked me to come back and MC the 20th year, and I'm going to be out of town, which really, really, really bummed me out. And then I told Addie we're going to have to miss opening day. My little girl's grown up at that ballpark, like literally grown up at that ballpark. She was there at 9 days old, and we've gone through the phases, Josh, of just carrying her to, come on, Dad, you know everyone, to going out to the right field seats, to, hey, let's go out to the Ice Topes game for dinner tonight and sitting and talking baseball. Like literally have gone through the stages at the ballpark with her.
That's so cool. And talking to a lot of different families and seeing the photos of them, you know, as the kids have gotten older and all that kind of stuff, is what it really starts to hit home about 20 years now. Your daughter's photo's still up?
Yeah, she's there with that Steve Garvey, Bill Russell, I think Matt Kemp.
Yep, it's in the press box.
Yeah.
So.
She was so little now. Now she's driving a car, and it's crazy. She's like, Dad, I'll meet you there. Can you get me a parking pass? All right, we got a lot of rule changes. We got the universal designated hitter. Look, I'm not going to pretend I like it. I like the strategy of the National League. I've always been a National League guy. I don't know if we'll ever see a bunt again in baseball. I never understood. I have this conversation. Pitchers at one point were the best hitters on their team at some point in high school, and then now all of a sudden, well, we can't have a pitcher hit their porcelain. Do you like the universal DH?
Not really. I'm one of the weirdos who actually liked that there was 2 sets of rules.
Me too.
I liked that there was a place for David Ortiz and Edgar Martinez, and I liked that there was a league where Madison Bumgarner could hit home runs.
Me too.
I liked how you got to the World Series and you had to change. You had to find a DH, or your pitcher had to bat. I liked that. At the same time, you're right. They don't even try to let pitchers hit unless they're Shohei Ohtani, right? And so it does become a really boring experience when a pitcher's at the plate. And it's because they don't allow them to practice.
And they got 4 days off, for crying out loud.
I know. It was an easy thing for the owners to give up. And the players' union liked it because it's another job. That's right. It's usually a high-paying job.
Albert Pujols.
It was an easy thing for the owners to give up. Out of all of the potential rules that I heard, I really liked the idea that once your starting pitcher exited the game, then you lost the DH. Because I thought it took away the opener strategy. And I thought that, okay, the pitcher goes 7 innings, you got the DH for 7 innings, and then you still just got to like pinch hit and figure things out.
So that would be Albert Pujols is my DH. He hits in the second. My pitcher gets chased in the third, so they're both out of the game.
Yep. But that's not going to happen.
Oh, look, I miss this. I know you're on the other side of this.
Yeah, I am one that if it stayed the same, I would have been fine with it. Like National League, American League, I didn't have a problem with it, but the overall change, I'm not upset with because it's one that could pitchers hit better? Sure. But then on the flip side, why are we not asking Mookie Betts to step on the mound and close out a game? Like,
we're
why are we
asking him
holding
to play
pitchers?
first base. We're not asking a pitcher to play center field. I mean, everybody's got a position. That's always been my contention on it.
Yeah, but you're not asking him to come in on the mound, but yet you're asking the pitcher to do something that
Yeah, but
he doesn't usually do.
and this is where we've always differed, right? JJ and I have. I mean, first base is a skill. Shortstop's a skill. The shortstop works on his defense as much, if not more, than the pitcher works on pitching. But yet he's still got to hit. Center fielder's working on tracking balls and making accurate throws, and he's working on his craft with his glove as much as he's working on hitting.
I read something. This was like 60 years ago. They were talking about, might have been 80 years ago, that they were talking about the designated hitter concept. And the idea was, let's just have 8 batters. Right? Instead of a DH or instead of the pitcher batting, let's just have 8 batters.
So the lineup would be 8 people.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be 9.
And the idea would be like, okay, the pitcher doesn't have to bat, but we're not going to have this designated hitter either. And this way the stars get to hit more often. Let's just have it. Why does it have to be 9? Let's just have 8.
I never thought of that.
I think that idea's brilliant, actually.
I don't know that I dislike that. I'm going to miss it. You know what I'm going to miss the most? This is horrible. It's kind of a free beer every once in a while. So when we got the DH, there's a National League team in, and maybe I'm sitting with someone who doesn't know baseball very much, and like in the 5th inning, the pitcher comes up. I said, hey, I'll bet you a beer this guy bunts. No way. No way. How'd you know that?
How about this? I remember when Chris Capuano was on a rehab assignment with the Isotopes. He comes to the plate, nobody on, 2 outs, and he squares around. He doesn't try a drag bunt. He doesn't try a push bunt. He's not trying to bunt for a hit. He just squared around. He practiced bunting because he felt like it was the safest way to make sure that he didn't get hurt, but he also felt like it was a skill that he wanted to practice. And I thought this was the craziest, weirdest thing, that he's practicing a sacrifice bunt with nobody on base and 2 outs in an actual game that people paid money to attend.
All right, you're going to play 100 and how many
50.
games? All right.
150.
How many times do you think your team will try a bunt with a designated hitter all the time now? How many sacrifice bunt tries do you? I mean, if I said over under 23.5 all season.
Under for sure.
Yeah.
I would say there'll be a time like in the 8th or 9th inning when it's the light hitting infielders at the plate, right? And the winning runs at first base, you're trying to get them over.
Okay.
So I would put the number at around 15.
Yeah. That's insane. Josh,
and Warren Schaefer likes to bunt.
Okay. And
I'll see if I can remember to keep track just for you.
I'm just curious. I mean, it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Don't sponsor that. If you're looking to sponsor something, don't sponsor the sacrifice bunt. You just won't get it on.
Brought to you by.
That's right. Josh Sushan's in studio. All right, big leagues also have expanded the playoffs, and it'll make it more exciting at the end of the season because everybody will be in for a playoff run. You know, I just looked at the NBA stuff. The Lakers are what I tell you, 14 games, 15 games under 500, and they're in the postseason tournament, and I'm like, okay, it's too much. One of the things I always loved about baseball growing up, only division winners got in. Then there was the wild card. Okay, now there's 2 wild cards. Okay, but it was still relatively exclusive in baseball. When I used to look at the NBA and the NHL, and it was more than half the teams got in the playoffs. It feels watered down. I understand why they're doing it. And another one, and maybe I'm hating change, and I sound like the old guy, get off my lawn. But I don't like the 6 playoff teams in each league.
It's bad radio when people agree with each other, but I feel the same way.
AJ doesn't.
He doesn't? Look, here's the thing. There's a lot of baseball in September that has been completely meaningless when you and I were growing up and when JJ was growing up. This is a way of making sure that September still matters. I think the trading deadline has become more interesting because there's more teams that have a chance to get into the postseason. So I think all of that is fun. I agree that it's watered down. I enjoyed the 1-game do or die. I really enjoyed that part of the wild card. There's just something about a do or die game. So now it's going to be a best of 3 for the first round, and it's going to be all at one site. So yeah, look, more playoff baseball in theory is good. But at a certain point, you do wonder too, look, congratulations to the Braves. They won the World Series last year. They completely redid their position players midway through the season. Like they were so different than they were at the beginning of the year, and so does that take away from the off season because teams just say, "Oh, well, we're just going to start with the prospects and see if they pan out, and if not, then we'll just make a bunch of trades in June and July." It's basically what the Braves did, and they got hot. They won the whole thing. I really hope that we never get to a point where someone is under 500 and makes the baseball postseason. I don't think it's going to get that way. Looking at the numbers over the last 20 years or so, I think there's a couple of times when like an 83, 84 win team might have gotten in, but for the most part, you're going to need to be around 85 to 87 to get in.
And you know, when you think of the really good teams, about what, mid-90s to 100, right?
Yeah.
So 162 game schedule.
Yeah, I think it's one too. It's just you look at the length of the season. Like we know if you're good or not by that point in time. Like there's only so much you're going to be able to do, as you said, Josh. The mid-season trades are going to have an impact because you play so many regular season games. So you have that time, and yeah, I think where it was before, like the last, as you said, kind of that playing game wild card was really good because you still pretty much had to be pretty good all year long, and I think there's going to be a sense of that because there's so many games like to play in the game of baseball that by the end of the season. Who's relevant or not.
It was a couple of years ago, and the Rockies tied the Dodgers for the West Division. So they played a one-game do or die to decide who was the regular season, the West champion, and then who would go to the wild card. And then they had to play the wild card against the Cubs, so they played back-to-back do or die games. That was fascinating baseball. That was really, really fun. We're going to lose that. It's never going to happen. I wouldn't mind seeing it go from 162 down to 154. 8 fewer games, you'd lose 4 games at home. And if it means that you can start the playoffs sooner, if you can start the playoffs in late September, so it's not going to drag into November, you worry about the cold weather in October. I think that if you could start baseball's postseason around September 20th, September 22nd, 23rd, I think that could be really fun.
I think, and I say this all the time, you sometimes when you've got a World Series in Minnesota, Boston, even New York, you're deciding your champion playing a different game than you play all year.
Yep.
Baseball at 30 degrees is different than baseball at 60, let alone 80. You got another segment in you?
Yeah, absolutely. All
right, Josh Suchon is here. You can get in if you'd like, 505-246-0610. Emails are coming in, Jeff or JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. It is spring. It's baseball. You're getting outside. You're doing more. You're feeling it in the air. You're sneezing. Time to get out. Be active. Guys, how you feeling? Gentlemen, are you ready for spring? If not, if you're tired too often, you're feeling sluggish, maybe you put on a few too many pounds, or you're even dealing with erectile dysfunction, give New Male a call. New Male helps men all over the country deal with these very natural things. Their number is 505-652-1688, 505-652-1688, or visit Newmale, NUMALE.com. So why are so many men visiting New Male? Because it works. New Male utilizes its industry-leading testosterone replacement to help men deal with very natural symptoms. Fellas, the reality is, as you age, there's a really good chance you're going to be affected by these very natural things, but you don't have to succumb to them. Call New Male at 505-652-1688 and take care of it. New Male's here in Albuquerque. They're convenient, and it works. That's the beauty of New Male. The results are real. 505-652-1688. That's 505-652-1688, or visit newmale.com and feel better.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
No idea what that means.
Jeff, what I heard is this team is loaded. Where's the playing time coming from? That works until the day they lose to the Dodgers 2-1, and the next day the OD is wondering what happened to this offense we supposedly had. Because if you lose a 2-1 game, only score one run in one of these 152 games, Josh, then the team's no good.
When I hear Dodgers and Isotopes, I'm always going to think back to last May. It was 10-1 going in the bottom of the 7th.
How was that game? And everybody left?
And Brian Servin hit 2 home runs, including the walk-off in the bottom of the 9th inning to win at 11-10. That was awesome.
So when you go nuts during a game like that, and rightfully so, by the way, right? You're the voice of a team, and you travel with these guys, you know these guys, you get emotionally involved because you do. I mean, A, you're employed by them, and B, you're with them and you know them, and you want your buddies to do well. And it's a May game against the Dodgers in what was then AAA West, now PCL, by the way. Because I think you do it the right way. I think you've got the right level of enthusiasm. You get excited at the right time and keep things in perspective. But when you're calling a game like that, is that all instinctual? Do you measure your enthusiasm?
Yes and no. Most of it is instinctual, but I know that in the back of my mind, I always think, I'll give you a couple of different scenarios. In the first inning, you got to save something for the 9th inning, okay? You can't get too excited in the first inning. You have to save something for the 9th.
Okay.
In April, you have to save something for June. In June, you have to save something for August, right? You can't have this over-the-top crazy call in the 6th inning or in May. You have to save something for later in the season, for later in the game. You always have to make sure that you save something.
You can't use it twice?
Depends what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, because a lot of it's just coming out. You're like,
right. But also, I think the key thing is to say it passionately, shut up, let the crowd tell the story, catch your breath, and then come back and deliver basically the caption, and then let the crowd tell the story some more. So I think it's...
And even on the radio, that works.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree. I don't think that you've got to be talking the entire time, especially when the crowd's going nuts.
I can tell you that we had a game late in the season when we scored like 3 or 4 runs, and it was like 9 pitches. It was like almost every single batter either swung at the first pitch or the second pitch, and it was just boom, 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 boom. And that was a game where it was 2 hours after the game, and my heart was still racing. I still had adrenaline coursing through my body like 2 hours later, and it was hard for me to fall asleep. And normally, like, okay, the adrenaline wears off by the time you end the postgame show. But that night, it was like 2 hours later, and I'm still, like, full of adrenaline. And that's when it's fun. That's when you know you're alive.
JJ and I have talked about you a lot. When
we do.
The team,
all the time.
Well, we do, actually. but when the team, and you've had some down seasons now, and you hit July and August, and you're rolling through, whether it's the PCL, by the way, it's renamed PCL for those of you who care, which is, I think, a wonderful thing. And you're rolling through some of these towns, and you're doing game after game in Fresno. Beautiful.
Not anymore. They're out of the league.
I know, but you were in Fresno.
Were you behind that, by the way, Josh?
Yes.
Which is a good move. Sacramento's warm. All these places are warm, and I'm just thinking, man, Josh is going out, and you're such a pro. The game, you sound into every game, and there's got to be days where you're like, okay, I got to find it.
Well, here's the thing. By the time the game starts, I find it. I'll be honest. There's times at 9 a.m., 11 a.m., maybe at 2 p.m., I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to find the energy. But first pitch, I do. And I know this is cliche, but if you would have asked me at 12 years old, Josh, what do you want to do?
Yeah.
I would have said, I want to be a baseball play-by-play announcer. That's the only thing I want to do in life. I don't know if I'm capable of doing anything else. And so I do remind myself of that. Speaking of Sacramento, the announcer there is Johnny Dosco. And I remember it was late in the season one year, and, it was like the last 4 games, and you're not playing for anything or whatever. And Johnny came up to me, and he said, imagine if you were a single-A broadcaster, and someone called you up and said, hey, you want to do the last 4 games of the year at AAA? The AAA guy has to do this or that or whatever. He wants to start his vacation. Think about how excited you would be as a single-A announcer that you got to do 4 games at the end of the year, right? When I had a friend who was very ill, JJ, thank you for filling in. JJ got to fill in. Like, JJ told me how excited he was, how much fun that was. And so I remind myself during those dog days, I get to do this. Yeah. How cool is this?
Perspective's so good. Josh Sushan is here in studio with us.
And I think it's really cool still that, in this world that, like, everything, it's you're either watching a game on TV, you can stream it, you can stream all the games, but there's still this, this aspect of radio that resonates. Now, a lot of times they're syncing up the calls with video, which I think is fantastic, which really helps the fans too moving forward. But there is just still something about this medium that, especially when it comes to baseball season, that it stands out, like baseball on the radio.
Yeah, so I don't know if everyone in the audience is aware, but so there is a video streaming, MILB.TV. You have to pay for it, and what happens is they take the audio of the home announcer. So for home games, I try to look at it like this is a half radio broadcast and a half TV broadcast. I try to do a little bit of a hybrid where you're talking to the pictures that you see, you're kind of adding captions, but you also don't want the radio audience to feel like they're being left out. Then when we go on the road, I know it's only radio, and that's when I can really get into the real nuances of radio on baseball on the radio, which is really fun. So I like that I can kind of divide it up.
And there is a difference for those, those of you who are saying, well, it's play-by-play, it's play-by-play. It's not. When you're doing radio, you're painting the picture. When you're doing television, the picture is painted. You're enhancing what the viewer is seeing. If you watch a game, just watch the Final Four. They don't tell you everybody who's got the ball. They don't tell you every place it is. Even if you watch a baseball game, on radio, it's got to be everything. And there is a big difference between TV and radio.
And the crew that we have, it's Windfire Productions, Gary Williams and his son Stephen Williams, and they're so good. We'll all start talking about the pitcher, and they'll zoom in. Maybe I'll say, this is the grip that he has on the baseball, and they zoom in so that you can see that grip. And so we do like this waltz together, which is really fun. And so then they can really just like zoom in, and you can really start to tell stories differently on TV than you can on radio.
What has changed with Isotopes in the 9 years now, a decade that you've been doing this? When you walked in here day one, obviously you're more familiar with it, and you've honed your craft. But is there a drastic difference in that organization? As we hit opening day now, next week on the road, and then 2 weeks from tomorrow, the home opener. Have you noticed a big difference in the organization, the build-up, the way things are done?
You mean the baseball side or the marketing side, or what?
Yeah, I mean the whole thing, the way the market is receiving the club, because I can't believe the place is 20 years old, and it still feels like it's brand new in some respects. But just the whole aura around Isotopes baseball, and the marketing a little bit, but just the experience and the build up to it.
I give a lot of tours of the ballpark, and I ask people all the time, how old do you think this place is? And no one ever thinks that it's 20 years old.
No way.
Right? I can say that when I arrived here and I'm coming up the elevator and there are 3 guys and I'm holding pocket schedules and I'm like, hey, you guys want a pocket schedule for the Isotopes? And they're, oh yeah, I can't wait. When's the first game? When I wear a polo shirt or a sweatshirt and someone sees that and they're like, oh yeah, like just I think that we never take for granted the way that we are appreciated in the community, and even though we have turnover, like you said, we have a new groundskeeper. Kevin Collins got called up to the big leagues. He works for the Rockies PR, and so I think that no matter who joins us, we don't take for granted our standing in the community, and it's hard work to make sure you don't lose that. It's hard to get it back if you lose that.
100%.
Yeah, and it's too just there's just something about it. Like last year was the first time I took Austin to a game. And I was out there at the ballpark, and I know this year it's going to be a different experience because he is going to understand what's going on a little bit more and watch the game.
Bet him a beer on a bunt.
I'm going to be like, Austin, I'll bet you this dude doesn't bunt. Right. Bunting is boring, and we don't want that in baseball. But just how it resonates, because No, everyone going to that game, it hits differently. Some people are there because they love it, they're invested. Other people are there for the entertainment, but it works for everyone. And I think that's what's so great about what baseball is during the summer, especially Isotopes Park, is these organizations understand that. Like, you can go out there and you don't have to be a true baseball fan to have a great night. Everyone can go out there and have a good time.
Yeah, I like that when the Kiss Cam is on, the grandparents get the biggest cheers.
Yes, they do.
Right?
No
and
doubt.
if anyone has a mariachi walk-up song, even if it's not a mariachi night, they become an instant fan favorite. You know,
true.
I love how much our fans get into it. When there's 2 strikes and there's 2 outs in the ninth inning, people clap their hands and they're on their feet. They want to strike out to end it. And I love that when the DJ plays that clip of Freddie Mercury from Wembley Stadium, everyone sings along. And there's usually at some point when everyone just starts going, woo! Throughout the ballpark, and it just starts echoing. Even if there's only like 200 people there late in the game in April, then the woos actually sound better because they echo more.
Yeah.
So, our fans get into it, and like JJ said, some of them are just there for the fireworks and the food and to have a good time. But
there's plenty of that.
But there's a lot of just like really hardcore baseball fans that love it.
I think Addie went through a phase where her favorite player each year was determined by walk-up song.
It's a good way to do it.
Got to set that tone.
And you know what? Then there's still players, and she remember we'll watch a game, and Jack Peterson used to be on the Isotopes, Dad, right? And I'm like, yeah, you were down here. All right, let's do this throughout the season.
Absolutely. I got every Monday off.
Yeah, but are you going to want to get up early, or are you going to sleep in?
I might do it on the phone, but we'll see.
Yeah, I was going to say,
what else I've got
maybe
going
on
on.
getaway days, right? Maybe those are going to be Sundays.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, maybe when there's day games and you're up, let's do this. I don't know what this one means. With the ghost runner rule, can both pitchers complete a perfect game?
Oh, I guess so. Well, wait. If you guys, so you're saying both pitchers 27 up, 27 down, and now you get to the 10th inning and you have the ghost runner at second base. I mean, eventually someone has to, I guess you could say there's a bunt, a sac fly.
Well, but
and a run scores, and you did not give up any base runners, but yet you lost the game.
So he scores. He goes to third on a wild pitch and scores on a sacrifice fly, and you lose 1-0. Did you pitch a perfect game?
Ooh, it's a good question. So I love that people come up with this.
Yeah,
and I love
that's
that baseball is
good.
stuff there where we can sit there and go, oh, wait, does that?
Because we think we know everything, but
Yeah,
we
does it?
don't. So what would that be?
I mean, you could make the case that you went 28 up and 28 down, and yet you
well,
get
in
the
that
loss.
case, it would be 30, and you get the loss because that guy's on second base. I hate that for pitchers, by the way. I mean, it's a.
That's where most of the bunting's going to happen.
In the 10th inning.
For the home team, the visiting team
All right,
doesn't bunt.
but
because
this
you
is
gotta
really
play for the
good.
big game.
So ghost runner means in the extra innings, the runner starts on second base. He goes to third on a wild pitch. Sacrifice fly gets him home, and you strike out the next 2 guys. So you didn't give up a hit. You didn't give up a base runner. The base runner was planted there. Is that still a perfect game?
I mean, I guess if you got the loss, then you weren't that perfect.
You threw that wild pitch. How about we call it pass
I mean, it
ball?
could even
No,
be a
it's a pass
sac
ball.
It could be a sac bunt, and it could be a sac fly. It could be a ground out.
Yeah, a fielder's choice.
Yeah.
Call Elias. Who's Elias, by the way?
Call Elias.
Elias knows all.
Call
All right.
Elias.
Safe travels.
Thank you.
Thank you for the bucket schedules. Thank you for the wonderful knowledge. It's always great having these
it's fun.
conversations with you.
Fun being in here.
Josh will be the voice of the Isotopes all summer long here on the Sports Animal. Appreciate him being with us. We'll wrap it up with you when we come back. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This is Boomer Esiason with the CBS Sports Minute. Today's birthday.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport. including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
I'm Ben Lucero, president and owner of Indigo Mortgage. We are a locally owned and operated mortgage company right here in New Mexico. This means your loan officers and processors are right here to serve you. Our mortgage divisions include residential, commercial, construction, reverse mortgages, and VA mortgage loan. Indigo Mortgage, because nobody cares more about your mortgage loan.
Man, I so totally enjoy having those conversations. Hey, Marie, you're going to enjoy working with Josh all summer.
He has the best voice.
He's got a good one. Yeah, he's got a good one. 505-246-0610 if you want to get in. 888-922-0610. What'd you learn? I learned him and I have a lot of the same views on things when it comes to baseball. Right? But that's good. I'm looking forward to it. All right. Looking through my emails if you want to get through anything I didn't hit on your text line. If you want to get in on the Browns thing, you certainly can. Whose side, John? Chris Rock's or Will Smith?
Chris Rock.
Chris Rock for getting slugged?
No.
Slapped? I'm sorry.
No, I'm on Chris Rock's side.
Yeah.
Charlie Murphy.
All right.
Man, as a comedian, life is rough.
All right. So yeah, I guess that's fair.
Real or fake?
I was just over talking to Strauss, and Strauss like, how did he not, as a man, don't you got to hit him back? How are you going to stand there and get hit? And I'm like, all right, so 2 dudes in tuxes on national TV. He should have thrown.
I think he was blindsided, though, too. He's like in shock.
Well, but he's like, instinctually, don't you go back and go after him?
No.
Does that mean it was staged? Does he think he deserved it? Does that make him a bigger man for just sitting there and laughing and taking it? And I just got the bleep knocked out of me or slapped out of me by Will Smith. Like, so you're totally on Chris Rock's side on this.
Oh, totally.
Did he cross the line on the joke?
No.
All right, whose side are you on?
I'm still trying to figure out like what happened. It just like Twitter blew up and everyone's talking about the Oscars, and then you see the clip and it's so bizarre because it looks like Will Smith is laughing for a second, and then like
he was laughing.
Then camera cuts away and then he's marching right towards Chris Rock, and then it's just like whoa.
He went up there and
He took it very personal, which yeah. Because
Which what?
Jada has health problems right now, which
Yes.
made her shave her head. Chris Rock made a joke. Is
Can we
it
talk about
insensitive?
how wild it is that no one reacted?
What do you mean that nobody reacted? Like no one
acknowledged that it happened.
Like no
and,
security
no
or
one
anything?
reacted. Like it's just wild that he goes up there, slaps Chris Rock in the face, and that means probably like everyone else was wondering, like, is this real or is this fake?
When was the last time you saw somebody on live anything just go up and slug?
And then like
was a slug?
And then we're like, we don't talk about this. And then a dude goes and wins Best Actor,
And then-
everyone's going crazy.
And then cries and apologizes, kind of, but not really. And now
Chris Rock is just like, hey guys, what about me?
Yeah, I just told the joke and I got slapped in the face.
His wife comes out and publicly announces that she cheats on him with a rapper, and he like doesn't do anything,
Wait, whose
cries
wife?
about it. Will Smith. This was a while ago.
Okay.
And now, and then.
So was
But you
that
talk about her hair?
Was that him defending her honor?
guess,
I mean,
yeah.
no, I know that's what he thinks. Is that? I mean, so did he defend her honor by go up and slap the man who made a joke?
Yeah, but I don't think that's a good way to defend her honor. Also, monologues at award shows, don't they troll and attack everybody?
Feels that way, but so where is the line? And you as comedians, I mean, where's
It's
the line?
there's becoming a thinner and thinner line
Are you
now.
always towing it? Like, are you always literally?
Now we have to almost. I feel like I don't know. I'm struggling with this today.
The problem is he stood up there.
Who did?
Will Smith, in his acceptance speech, and was like, "We have to sit here and take this and take that and blah blah blah."
And
Like you know that.
I have to protect people.
And then he was like saying, "Well, I played this character, which was Venus and Serena Williams' father, King Richard, the movie. It's what he won for." And he's like, "I learned that you have to protect." And so you, wait, was this were you
So-
method acting, slapping Chris Rock? Like, what's going on here?
That's why I have no idea how I feel about this.
It's tough.
I honestly, I don't even know if it's conflicted. And I know it's what everybody's talking about, and I get it, right? One superstar walked up on the stage.
Dude saying thank you this morning. LeBron James.
And jokes are approved
Because
before
nobody's
they're told
talking
on
about-
television.
Nobody's talking about how they dropped the double-digit lead on the road.
Well, a 23-point lead to the
I
Pelicans.
wonder who wrote that joke. I wonder if Chris Rock wrote it or the people
Well, okay,
writing for the
but
Oscars.
ultimately, it's the responsibility of the person who's telling the joke,
Correct.
right? He's got absolute authority to say no. So, do you think the Oscar people wrote these jokes?
Actually, it doesn't matter. The whole point is.
Because you know what was funny was Woody Harrelson. Woody Harrelson. Did you see him in
No.
Rosie Perez? They did.
I didn't watch it. I just saw the clips of Will
The
Smith.
whole cast of White Men Can't Jump, and they went out there and they were talking about how they were getting high on the way over there, and she's like, "Well, I should have rode with you guys," and it was just ridiculous. It was relatively funny.
Stand-up comedy slowly will die if this continues to happen.
Where it's okay to just walk up there and slap the dude, and
Well, it's not going to be
looked like
okay because it's not
People are
going
going
to
to
be
start doing this
Smith.
in comedy clubs, man. I better
Yeah.
watch out. Now it's
That's the
okay.
difference.
Now it's okay.
Because that person's going to get arrested.
So to your point, though, somebody now in a comedy club is going.
Oh, someone's going to do it.
I promise you.
Promise
when
you.
when you make fun of the
Try me.
audience, and you make someone's wife, some dude's going to come up and slug somebody in the face.
And then you're going to be like, guess what? I ain't Chris Rock. Have fun spending a night in jail.
If Chris Rock was
I
bigger
bet-
than Will Smith, would he have gone? Would he hit him back?
No, I don't think so.
Because I mean, who are you taking in that fight? Come on,
Probably will.
So
of
stunned.
course.
Like,
You would say, watched him walking up. Like, what do you think he was? Unless it was staged. Is it 100% it wasn't staged?
but
No,
then
I
what?
don't think it was
why
staged.
would if it was staged? Would
For what?
Will Smith have said the stuff after the fact?
To sell Kevin Hart, Chris Rock tickets? Like, what are we doing here?
I don't know, man.
And the Lions are in Hard Knocks this year. Come on, that's the bigger joke.
Eating kneecaps.
That is a joke.
That's the bigger joke
I
today for
honestly don't
sports.
know
I
how
hate Jared Goff so much. Calm down.
Ned James is going to be tuning into that Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
What's that with Ned James at the game the other day? God, was this the most random where the hell we going segment?
I know, because we're about to end this show.
Like, where are we going with this? All right. Tomorrow, Greg Heyer is going to be with us, the new New Mexico State basketball coach. That's at 8:30 tomorrow morning. He'll be introduced today at 4, and then he's going to be with us tomorrow morning at 8:30. So we'll have that. The Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowards after that. 2 Men On come your way at 4. We're back with award-winning radio starting tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Thank you to Josh Sushan for being with us. Adrian, great work on the TV side. Great Monday.
Maybe I'll get slapped at Salt Yard next week when I'm performing.
You might. Somebody's going to come up and storm the stage. Big day for you now?
Huge day.
All right, enjoy it. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll see you tomorrow.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
The next pitch, that's a good swing. That nope, nice dig by the shortstop, gets it across, and that's an out, number 1.
To that meeting, what pitch do we get? It's a good pitch and a swing and a miss for strike number 3. And the ball game.
On the squeeze play here.
He'll go safety squeeze, he'll go suicide squeeze, or he'll go the traditional way. That one's hit on the air to left, caught on the line by Ritchie. Throw to the plate is coming, what a throw! They gun down the runner at the plate. It's a breaking ball hit the other way. That might be trouble. Long run, Morlock can't make the diving catch, and it's going to roll all the way to the wall. Coming around to score will be the courtesy runner Young easily. And around to third on an RBI triple is Jordan Baca, and the Hawks are on the board first.
What a swing by Baca. Tough play out there in right field. He tried his best, gave it a go by diving, but then he allowed the triple too.
Wow, that was a bomb there. That's a home run. Wow. Man, oh man. Elijah Castaneda with the home run. Deep shot to left field. Wow, beautiful hit there.
They're at first and second. Burton wraps to third. He's going to step on the bag for 1. Flip across to first. There's a double play to end the inning. And the game. Poetic justice for the Hawks. Here's a 1-0. That's back up the box, and it's lined and caught at second by Gonzalez.
Runners on first and second for the Rams. There's a shot, and that one's Gonzo. 3-1 shot by Keona King.